just here to give my opinion and carry in.
Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch. Hold on. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hold on now. I got to sneeze. Excuse me. See, child, now that shit hit me out of nowhere. But anyway, hey, everybody, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome to a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. What is it, Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday. I'm your host, Chris Avalon, and yes, this show is basically a show where we go in and talk about all the things going on in social media, entertainment news, hot topics, all the things that's going on in pop culture. We talk about it on this here show. So, before we get started, can you please do me a solid and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and also smash that notification button so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. And that was funny because it's like I started, I'm like, wait a minute, how did I forget my intro and all the other stuff? I'm sneezing. I'm just saying, wait, look, y'all watch the show long enough. Y'all know I'm a hot ass mess. But anyway, we got a lot of tea to spill today. I know I've been gone for 3 days. But I kind of told you I was, but I did say I might or might not do a show on Sunday. I was tired. Like a lot of times, and shout out to Robert, because he's even saying you need to take a month off and come back on your birthday. First of all, I am my father's son. I can't do a month. I could do maybe a week. I could do a couple of days, but I'm somebody where I just have like, I'm a workhorse. I have a crazy work ethic. To me, doing what I love to do and my passion, that's enough of a vacation for me. So I could take days in between and just like let things simmer. And then if things come out, then we could talk about it. But for the most part, I'm like, vacation? What is that? But anyway, we have a lot of TV to spill today. So Wesley Snipes broke a Guinness World Record. We're going to talk about Janet Jackson's residency that came out today, that she's finalizing a residency out in Vegas. Now, the other day we did talk about who should play Britney in her upcoming The Woman in Me biopic. Well, child, Entertainment Weekly did a thing on it as well, and I thought it'd be entertaining if we kind of played around with. We already had the Britney thing. We could put that to the side. But who's gonna play Justin Timberlake? Who's gonna play Christina Aguilera? Who's gonna play Kevin Federline? Who gonna play Colin Farrell? Because remember, he's in the book too. So they got some names floating around. I thought as a class we could entertain that whole situation and see if we agree with what they saying over there at Entertainment Weekly. I was looking at some of the names on that list and I did have a cackle. So I was like, let's just bring it on to the show. Plus, speaking of Blue-Eyed Soul performance, we're going to talk about John B. John B is throwing strays at Gunna and Chloe Bailey, rightfully so, because that song that they did where they used his sample of They Don't Know was trash and ratchet. So I'm with him on that. But people getting mad because he used ratchet and he's white. We got to have a conversation about that. Plus, he threw a little shade at Justin Timberlake and called his latest music video demonic. So we got to talk about that. Plus, I thought we could have spent at least a day or two without talking about them. But yeah, you already saw the thumbnail. We got to talk about Hennifer and Ben and his midlife crisis and the fact that they're not even speaking to each other and they're having their management kind of drum up what they're going to, like, this whole divorce. Whatever happened to the goddamn lawyers? Bring the lawyers into, isn't that what a divorce lawyer's for? Why y'all gotta bring managers and things? These two are just weird and they get on my damn root canal nerve. But we're gonna talk about that. Plus, Suge Knight got a theory where he thinks the reason why Ben Affleck left Hannaford, and I think we kind of said this on the show, is because there's some compromising footage he received from the FBI in regards to her involvement with Diddy back in the day. So we got to talk about that. Plus, we got to talk about my husband, Zac Efron, who was hospitalized. What happened to my boo? Going off to Ibiza without me and shit. So we got to talk about that. Plus, speaking of hot messes, we got to talk about Angelina Jolie and the crisis she's having with her son Pax. Like, what is going on with him? First of all, we heard he was released from the ICU. And he's going through it. He's getting in accidents and riding his e-bike into people and not wearing helmets while he's riding around LA. You know, LA is crazy with the way they got them drivers behind the wheel. Some of y'all shouldn't even be given a license, quiet as it's kept. So we're going to talk about that. And we got to talk about Real Housewives of New Jersey. They had their finale on Sunday. It's a hot-ass mess. They talking about we're not going to get a new season until 2025. And even Luann from Real Housewives of New York is weighing in on who she think, you know, what they should do in regards of the next season. So we're going to talk about that. Plus, we're going to talk about Simon Cowell forced to abandon this search for the next boy band because, child, they can't find no talent out in there. Apparently, Britain's got no talent. So we got to talk about that. Phineas is defending his sister. He windmilling for her, and I'm with him too. I'm a windmill with you, bro. Um, because people are throwing shade at her verse on her Charlie XCX remix of Gas, saying what she said was predatory. Now you know what damn Gen Z done started that foolishness over on TikTok because they want clicks and views. So we're gonna talk about that mess. Plus, we got to talk about Nikki Doll filed a lawsuit against Lawrence Fox. Applause, applause, applause for that. And Bianca Del. And speaking of which, I keep telling you to leave these damn drag race girls alone. They're not playing with you hoes. So speaking of politicians and things of that nature, this bitch named Valentina Gomez, who's running for Secretary of State, I believe, of Missouri, she decided to drop the F word quite a few times, and it rhymes with maggot. So y'all know what I'm talking about. She dropped it on Twitter, and Bianca Del Rio read her down to the floor, as well as Candy Muse and Shea Coulee. So we're going to talk about that and a whole lot more. So, and if anything else pops off, we could talk about it on the show. So once again, hit that like button, that subscribe button, and smash that notification button so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. And I know there's a lot of stuff that came out today as well, including the VMA nominations. The reason why I did not put that as part of the show is because I didn't give a fuck. I saw the list of people. I was like, okay, Taylor Swift, 10 nominations. Typical. Like, we already know what these award shows gives. It's literally a way to get Taylor Swift to show up at y'all event because nobody watches award shows anymore. Y'all need the ratings. We already know what it gives. They're giving it at the UBS Arena, which is a part of my job is affiliated with them. So my union actually is affiliated with them. So if I wanted to, I could work over at the UBS Arena. If I spoke to my union rep and it was like, okay, like I want to go work over there with them, but I got enough stuff going on. I ain't got time to be hopscotching to different places because I'm at Citi Field, I'm at the Garden. Yesterday I worked the Green Day concert. Let me tell y'all, that shit was everything. Shout out to Billy Joe, and then Billy Joe Armstrong, Trey Cool, and oh my god, how'd I forget the other one? um Yeah, his name slipped my brain. But anyway, there's three of them. They had a whole full band up there. They had a couple of guitars. They had a piano player. They had everything. First of all, Green Day put on an amazing show. I love the fact that during American Idiot, they kept the MAGA agenda line in there. And I was like, child, Nav, you cannot be a Green Day fan and really be a Trump supporter. Like, make it make sense. Green Day has always been against the patriarchy. They've always been against, war and all the other stuff, like, fascism, what's the other, propaganda, any of that stuff. Like, you cannot be a Green Day fan and be pro-Trump. Make it make sense. And also they had other bands there too. So they had Smashing Pumpkins played before them, which I've never seen Billy Corgan perform live. I was like, damn, it feel like the 90s all over again. It's my childhood. So they had they performed before that, and then it was Rancid, which I've never seen them perform live either. And it was like they were good. It was like giving me like punk nostalgia. I just love the punk rock bands and all the stuff. But I also love the fact that Green Day shouted out Queens. It was like home of the Ramones. I was like, look at y'all. Well, he's Gen X. So, the Gen X, they respect the people that came before them and the people who inspired them. I don't know about these newer generations. Y'all be thinking people need to bow down and kiss y'all ass when y'all put out one damn album and thinking y'all icons and legends. But you need to actually understand, like, you got to build up to that. And he also said something or other. This is the 20th anniversary of American Idiot, which I'm like, damn, time flies. Because I remember that album did come out in 2004. I'm like, Jesus, where did time go? And then before that, they had this group called the Linda Lindas, which I've never heard of them, but their music was good. And then two nights before, I did a K-pop show, which was ATEEZ. They were actually good too. There was some cuties in that damn group as well. Some of y'all look like y'all had surgery, look a little androgynous, a little bit in the words of Al you doing woman side, because he can't say woman. He says woman. I don't know why your jaw got to do all of that to say woman, but whatever. I guess maybe that's how they talk down in Virginia. But anyway, so yeah, so they did that. They actually put on a good show. They was up there doing all that choreography. I didn't understand what the hell they were saying, but I will say this. I want to give a shout out to the K-pop fans because of all the shows I work, when you work many other shows, whether it be a rap show, a hip-hop show, R&B groups or whatever, or even down to the rock bands, some of these fans, y'all be acting like y'all got a sense of entitlement and don't know how to act when y'all get out the house. But The K-pop fans, first of all, was 90% girls. A lot of the girls, y'all are so well behaved and well respected. Y'all make my job so much easier. So shout out to y'all. So that's why I was like, I will work 1,000 K-pop shows over any other thing because the K-pop girls, and I also said, like I've told her this before, even Olivia Rodrigo's fans, they were really polite as well. So, I'm gonna tell y'all the tea when how the audience and the energy and stuff responds. So I actually like that. So shout out to the young kids. They're not all bad, I'll say. See, when you're not Gen Z, you could say but anyway, let's look into the comments. I agree because you want to know something, and I was Josh Shapiro, and I feel like she knows she would have messed up her campaign if she picked him, and that's because I started hearing this tea. Shout out to Kevin Ortega Rojas because he put me on, and I did not know that Josh Shapiro was a hardcore Zionist. And he was out here talking about that he wanted to defund colleges that would allow kids to protest against, the Israel-Palestine conflict. Like, sir, you forgot what country you live in? Like, this is freedom of speech. People have a right to protest, whether you agree with what they're saying or not. Anybody that goes against him is he felt that was anti-Israel or anti-Semitic, I believe was the word. So I'm actually glad she didn't pick him. Now, it would have been great, like, if you was able to pull up get the states, like, when you need that Pennsylvania vote or whatever. But her VP pick, I have to say, like, people like him. And I don't know much about him. I need to do a little more research, but everybody's like, he was a former principal. I said, yeah, well, first of all, we need a principal in this world because some of y'all don't be knowing how to act when y'all out in public. So you need that principal with the ruler to come out and get y'all asses. Remember the principal from Lean On Me? He wasn't playing with you hoes. And that's what we need. So I actually liked her VP pick. It was a good one, but I do love the fact that Trump is becoming even more unhinged, and now all of a sudden, because Biden's not in the picture, now I feel like the real slow, because I don't know how y'all just came to this conclusion. Oh, Trump slurs his words. He's incoherent. He's unhinged. I'm like, where have y'all been? Like, he didn't just all of a sudden become this. He been this way. And you know what? I will say this because I really was always so nasty towards the Trump supporters, and I am towards the ones that are now. Because I feel like there's no excuse why y'all still riding for that man with his racism, misogyny, all that other stuff. That just goes to show you're racist and misogynist if you ride him at this point. But I do understand in the beginning when people when people jumped on Trump, it was because the country was in a place where people felt like they weren't being heard by the politicians. Politicians out here doing whatever they want and probably still are now. It's just that the visual narrative, all the other stuff looks different. But we can deep dive into that a whole nother time, but I don't want to spend too much time on that now. But so I feel like they were looking for a sense of community. Somebody was listening to them. They wanted an like somebody who wasn't a politician to come in and change things, not realizing that Trump ain't nothing more than a damn grifter. He's a user, and he was doing this at the end, getting in office so that we can give tax breaks to his wealthy friends and trying to get money out of all these other people. But they just didn't. A lot of them, these people just don't know how to unplug from the matrix. Some slowly are. And he's pissed off so many people with this Project 2025. I really feel like that has backfired on him. And they really don't know, since Biden dropped down, how to go at Kamala. You're going at her for being a woman. You're going at her for being a woman of color. Like, okay, that's late, first of all. And you can't really put nothing on her. So I'm just glad that, nothing's sticking to her. I said that what they need to do is all the stuff he's saying about her, you need to reflect that on him. I hate the way the media is handling all this. Like, y'all let Trump get away with murder. Y'all really need to drag him for the bullshit he says. And I like the fact that she picked Tim Walz. I'm glad she didn't go with Josh Shapiro. And I was hoping she wasn't either, because I was like, child, you want to lose that Gen Z vote? Go ahead and pick Josh Shapiro. It said Chloe Bailey is dropping a brand new album on Friday. Child, who cares? No shade, but Chloe is boring to me. I don't get the whole, like, she's a try hard. It's like, girl, ain't nobody checking for that record. And it's no shade. It's just like, girl, get back with Halle. You two need to get back together and release music. And they said that Columbia Records and Beyonce stay setting her. I agree with that. It's like, how you just gonna announce an album a week before, days before it's going to come out? I haven't heard a new song, and you know what? I can't wait to get to that story about John B. Chair, because the way what he said about Chloe in there, I did have a cackle. And I don't know why people think that, because you like a certain artist, they're exempt from criticism. I don't know who told y'all that. Oh, I don't know if I acknowledged Robert, but yes, good morning. Because I did see that he did put that up in there. I don't remember if I said that. I know I went on this whole tangent about politics, but I didn't even know. Yeah. Um, yeah, it came out this morning and I just didn't care. I saw that list of nominees. I'm like, in the words of Willow Rosenberg, bored now. That's basically what it just gave me. So I moved on. I was like, I'm not even making that a topic. I think when the VMAs comes out, when it drops, we'll talk about it. And I'll watch it, but more than likely I'll probably be fast forwarding through the whole thing. I don't care about any of the nominees. It's the same typical people. It's Taylor Swift. The cameras are gonna be just pandering to her every 3 seconds to be like, oh look, we gotta get that Taylor Swift shot of her whispering in somebody's ear or having a drink or dancing to every damn song under the damn sun because she's like the ambassador of all things music now. And so the way the media handles her and the way that they use her and prop her up as this thing, this ratings juggernaut, that's what irritates me about the awards show because y'all can't put an award show together. And I just don't understand how the VMAs is even still on. Y'all ain't showed a damn music video since the 2000s. So why we still got an award show? And what y'all need to do is just stream it on. This is another thing too. Y'all just need to put the shit on YouTube. Like, why is it even on MTV? Put it on YouTube. YouTube is where all the music videos end up anyway, or where people go to watch music videos. So why the hell is it on MTV? Quiet as it's kept, most people don't even have MTV. I know I don't. I gotta watch it on Philo. They said Green Day's biggest song, American Idiot, is a song criticized. Exactly. And that's what I was thinking when I was watching the show. Because in the beginning, what they do in the show is they play the whole Dookie album. That was their debut, their biggest hit, their big breakout album, I should say. So they play the whole Dookie album, and then as they get to the last song, that you see like the American, like the fist with the bloody heart in the hand, it kind of blows up into this big balloon on stage, and you get the pyro. There was a lot of pyro. Then at one point they had like an airplane flying around the entire arena that was dropping. I don't know what the hell was in there because actually I forgot to tell you I was on the floor, so I was literally close to the stage, but I was like. But you get to see all the craziness happen. So I got to see the band up close. I actually got to see oh my God, thank you for reminding me about the Funky Dineva Carlos King interview because he did mention shout out to Ron because I see your post. Thank you for reminding me for that because he did say that was coming. I need to watch that. So I'll probably watch that when I'm done with the show. And when we come back, we should talk about it on Thursday. But I do hope. Oh, well, let me ask you: if you watched the interview, did they bring up Fox Soul and the whole TGIF thing? Because my thing is, the one thing about Funky Dineva, he's like one of the biggest names in our social media space, and a lot of people aspire to get to where he is. But my thing is, you trying to always avoid drama and stuff. I do feel like, with the whole Fox Soul thing, you need to tell your side of the story. I know there's not much there to tell, according to him, because he's like, I left for music reasons. I mean, not music reasons, because they pay disparity and all that other mess. So he decided to leave for that point. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, back to what Honest said. Yeah, American Idiot was criticizing the Bush administration, and funnily enough, it still resonates today, if not more so than it did back in the day. So, I think it's a good thing that they, I'm not a part of the MAGA agenda. I love the fact that he changed it. I actually didn't even mind that he uses the F word in the song. Y'all know what the F word rhymes with maggot. And then he sang that song, what is it? Do you want to be my girlfriend? And I love the fact that he kept saying, do you want to be my boyfriend numerous times? And dudes in the audience was singing right along. It was first of all, it was a lot of cute frat boys up in that audience too. That was there. A lot of, a lot of good looking boys with tattoos. But, oh yeah, I did hear about it said Tim Walsh was the faculty advisor for his school's Gay Straight Alliance Club. Yeah, I did hear like this. I think Pink News did a story, but I glanced over it where he was talking about how he was big within, LGBTQ rights. So that's going to help. So he definitely is going to bring in the gay people to vote. I don't think he's a sister though, but who knows with these politicians. Wait, I don't understand that. We said he's a sister. So basically, Taylor Swift has the next 2 weeks at #1 locked. Well, look. How many times are they gonna pull vultures. Because every time I turn around with Kanye and this album, he's using samples. It's on social media. I mean, it's on Spotify and all those other places. Then they pull it. Then they put it up. Then they put. It's like, what's going on? And then recently, I just heard that they talked about what is it? Portishead is going after him for using a sample of their music, which quite sure. No, look, I was a huge Portishead fan. Dummy is one of my favorite records of theirs, and like I've always listened to their music and stuff, so I've always liked Massive Attack, Tricky, Portishead, Morchiba. I was big into the whole trip hop sound back in the '90s. So him using Portishead, so yeah, take him for all his damn money. Y'all can't be out here using people's music without their permission. It's the same thing with this whole thing with John B. bitching about people sampling his one big. Well, he had numerous hits, but his big hit was "They Don't Know." But we'll get to that. Okay, he said they did talk about it. Well, yeah, I'll watch it later and I'll come back on the next show and I guess I'll give my overall thoughts. Yes, I love Portishead too. And shout out to, hey, Felix, how you doing? But anyway, let's get right into the show and then we could do all the other side things later because we're 20 minutes in. But you know, that always happens. Yes, I saw it. I think Robert sent me something about BB Rexa too. I told her, y'all all the greater minds think alike. We all y'all all be sending me a lot of, you know what, it's funnily enough. Don't feel bad that y'all not the first, but y'all don't realize how many people I have sending me stuff in my I'll have literally it'd be you two and like literally four other people that will send me the same videos. But yes, I saw your video. But anyway, I didn't get around to watching it, but I do know the cliff notes in which she said she was going to go scorch earth on people in the industry, and there was an accusation. I think we talked about that on the show about her and the whole accusation she made about Dr. Luke and how she went into a writing session and all his people were in there doing drugs, and she went and ran into, I guess, him. She ran into Dr. Luke at some place. I think they went out to eat or something or another. He asked her how the sessions were going. She was, because she's a Virgo, honest. And apparently the assistant came up to her later on, well, no, you need to, when you get around him and you say, oh, you need to say if things are great, those other stuff, you can't really come out and say, per se, the tea that's going on because he don't want to hear it. So he wanted those. But anyway, let's move on. And let's talk about Wesley Snipes, who, shout out to him. Oh, wait a minute. I just realized I have my other YouTube channel open. So I was like, I'm gonna get in the words of Janet Jackson, that feedback, 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 feedback. But anyway, so yeah, let's give a shout out to Wesley Snipes, who hit a Guinness World Record for, I think he's actually surpassed Hugh Jackman as the person who's played a superhero the longest. So, according to Variety, the actor's return as the half human, half vampire Daywalker in superhero threequel comes 25 years and 340 days. I cannot believe y'all actually did the math. After he first played the character in 1998's Blade, according to Guinness World Records, securing him the record of the longest career as a live-action Marvel character. Snipes beat out his co-star Hugh Jackman, whose first appearance as Wolverine came 24 years ago in 2000's X-Men. Snipes' surprise cameo in Blade earned him another Guinness World Record, the longest gap between character appearances in Marvel films. According to Guinness, he last played the character 19 years and 231 days ago in the 2004 film, 20 years ago, child. Blade turned, well, actually in December, it'll be 20 years, surpassing Alfred Molina's 17-year gap between playing Doc Ock in 2004 Spider-Man 2 and 2021 Spider-Man Went No Way Home. Snipes' Blade was among many cameos in Deadpool and Wolverine, starring Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. There was a lot of people in there. The movie came out on July 26th. It broke multiple records, and it earned so far 200. Well, it earned. I can't say how much it earned so far because I don't know. I need to look it up. But opening weekend, it grossed $205 million. at ranking as the eighth best debut of all time, and set the record as the biggest R-rated opening weekend ever, which shocked a lot of people because they were like, "How's that even like? How much is this movie going to make?" And I remember hearing the numbers it was going to be $200 million that it was going to gross, and some people were like they didn't believe it, but I was like, "Chill, trust and believe, it's happening." And now I'm hearing tea because that Ryan Reynolds actually tried to get another cameo in Deadpool 3, and that would be Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider. But I need to find out why he couldn't get that cameo. And I'm sure that it'll be good. But I'll say all this to say, shout out to Wesley Snipes. I know a lot of people was mad because I remember when I first did my other Wesley Snipes thing when I mentioned that he has a cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine. So I was like, spoilers, spoilers. I'm like, it's been out for 2 weeks. If you're gonna know, you should know. First of all, I feel like a lot of people need to prepare themselves in these situations. Like I said before, whenever a Scream movie comes out, I make sure my ass is there opening day because people will spoil stuff on social media. I want to know I want to figure out and discover and get that overwhelming feeling of like, oh, so that's the killer. And like that's why I go to see. There's certain movies you have to see opening weekend. I already knew from the beginning. Deadpool and Wolverine is a movie you have to see opening weekend because people are going to. The spoilers are going to get all over social media. The spoilers are going to leak. You cannot possibly be that dense to get upset that a movie that's been out for 2 weeks already. There's spoilers. Like you really think the world's going to wait for you to until the shit pops up on demand? Or a streaming service so that way you can avoid like what kind of world do you think you live in that you think that you're not going to come across a spoiler if you don't see the movie ASAP? So get off my line with that foolishness. And do I feel sympathy? Like I give people enough grace. I gave people a week actually before I went and did my whole spoiler situation. Well, actually, I put in the disclaimer in my show when we were doing the live stream that I was doing a spoiler review of what of Deadpool and Wolverine. So if people are gonna get mad, whatever. I mean, I can only be empathetic to a point. But for the most part, it's like, come on, if this movie been out for a while now, y'all have to know that stuff is gonna get out and people are gonna start talking. I'm still mad. First of all, I'm still mad over at Marvel and Kevin Feige with that bullshit ass excuse they talk about Daphne Keene. You had to spoil her in the trailer. Oh, she wanted to come to the premiere. And I'm sitting there like, okay, so you could lie. How people in Hollywood lie all the damn time. Um, she could have come out and said, I'm here to support Hugh Jackman. We did a movie together. We did Logan. So I'm here to see the movie and support my friend. You could have did that, but no, they wanted to spoil it, and I truly stand by this because I feel like Disney has been in, this. They've kind of been in the Phantom Zone. I know I'm using a DC reference on a Marvel movie. They've kind of been in the Phantom Zone lately, and the fact of the matter is like they are trying to figure out, where, getting the situation. Shit, yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. Situation, we could say that, on track, and I felt like that reveal came from a place of insecurity because Marvel hasn't had the best track record as of late. So even though y'all, I'm sure they were tracking, seeing like the tickets were selling, they were gonna make over $200 million opening weekend, which is unheard of an R-rated movie. Y'all still got a little nervous and was like, we need to drop something else just so that way we can get a little bit. I felt like it was a sense of greed and insecurity on their part. So that's why I feel on that. But anyway, I want to say congratulations to Wesley Snipes. I really hope that they would consider, even though, we have this thing with Mahershala Ali, could y'all come out with a separate universe situation where we can get one more Wesley Snipes Blade movie? Because I feel like after Blade Trinity, and that was a mess, we really need Blade to have a proper send off. And yeah, he has a little thing in the movie, and he got to do his thing. I really want to. I want a proper Blade film. And while I'm here for Mahershala Ali, I just would love to see a separate Wesley Snipes film. I think that's what the fans want as well, because that's what we like, and he, it is what it is. But anyway, let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. It said she said Cash's mom told her she should stay away from him. Yeah, there's been word. Uh, oh yeah, I see Cleveland say, "Yep, you did," because I left for a while and came back. And I think by now you have seen it, right? And it said it's because they haven't had many popular movies in the last few years. Inside Out 2 is Disney's biggest hit in a few years. Yeah, and that's why I feel like parents are choosing their movies wisely because, you know, all these animated movies. Um, Wait, hold on. See, I'm seeing all this Disney stuff. They're talking about Disney raising prices of Disney Plus and Hulu again. Bitch. First of all, if I got that bundle, y'all better not be raising that shit. Um, Goddamn. No, because I'm looking at I'm being nosy. I'm looking at John Campio's rundown. Why is like four out of all your topics, everything is Deadpool and Wolverine. But you know what? Y'all do y'all show over there the way y'all do y'all show, and I do mine the way I do mine. Let me not criticize how other people do their show. But anyway, excuse me. I'm like, the thing I hate about when it's hot, I literally just refilled my iced coffee because I made some earlier, and I actually went to the store, got my breakfast, and I had to make me iced coffee, just black, nothing in it, and I actually have some that's in my fridge, and I added ice and everything. Damn, ice melted. Even though I have a fan on, it's still hot, and I'm mad because I'm just like, damn, ice is, this weather is shitty. I'm sick. I hate heat, and I was born in the damn summer. But anyway, let's move on. And let's talk about Janet Jackson, who it looks like she's about to jump into the whole residency thing. But I should say this, this will probably be her second residency, I believe, because Janet has done a residency before. So I will give that up to her. But anyway, let's get into the tea. So Janet Jackson is bringing a new residency to Las Vegas after reportedly turning down a similar opportunity across the pond. So I guess they're trying to say that she was asked to do a residency in the UK, but she decided Las Vegas. But I thought she lived in London. I said the Rhythm Nation singer, who's 58, would come back to her fans in December at Resorts World, where she's currently finalizing a deal. This is what TMZ is reporting, by the way. Rumor has it the five-time Grammy winner, who's in the midst of her Together Again world tour, will also take part in a New Year's Eve performance in the Sin City luxury spot, as sources told the outlet. It's unclear exactly how many days the residency would span, but insiders said that it would likely be relatively short. Jackson was also offered a residency in London, according to those sources, but she opted for the better-paying offer at Resorts World. Celine Dion will also headline the venue later this year or early next year to mount her postponed 2021 residency. So apparently, look, the people out here, that's the hotel, in case y'all were wondering, Resorts World there. It looks it looks very glamorous out there. There's been many times I actually thought about moving to Vegas because I'm like, it's very resorts oriented. There's a lot of shows and everything going on out there. So I was like, it might be cute to live in Vegas, but I don't know how I feel about all that damn heat. But if I don't like the heat in New York, what makes you think and during the summer, what makes you think I'm gonna like the heat out there? So they said the resorts residency is not a first for Jackson, who in 2019 celebrated her 30th anniversary of Rhythm Nation 1814 with 18 metamorphosis dates at Park MGM. The 3-month stint sold nearly 77,000 tickets and grossed $13 million, which Billboard at the time noted was more than Dion's 2011 residency, as well as Britney Spears in 2013 and Backstreet Boys in 2017. Well, y'all need to realize Janet Jackson is an icon. Say what you want. So yeah, she's going to if she does a residency, why is it not going to that picture? Well, whatever. I guess we'll just leave it there. Janet Jackson is an icon. So she's gonna sell a lot of tickets, more so than a Britney Spears, a who else is it? Backstreet Boys and Celine Dion. They said Jackson's new residency is set to start nearly a decade after the release of her last studio album, 2015's Unbreakable. And Chair, aren't we still waiting for that follow-up? What's it called? Black Diamond? What happened, sis? What's going on with that record? Is the songs not songing? And you just gonna stick with the rivers and the lakes that you used to, which is give the gays and the girls what they want, which is the hits and the same choreography and all this stuff. But look, the thing is, Janet got enough songs and stuff out there. She don't really need to put out no music. If she don't want to put out music, she ain't got to. If she just wants to be a singles artist, and then that'd be cute or whatever. But the people love the songs. People love her hits, and yeah, she has a lot of great hits, even down to Unbreakable, which was her last record. There's some bops on that record. I do like Burn It Up was my song. I like No Sleep. There's a couple of good songs on there. I didn't even like the Unbreakable song. And they said that it made history as her seventh number one debut on the Billboard 200 chart. Now, news of the residency comes less than a week after, Jackson wrapped up the stateside leg of the Together Again tour, which will resume with European shows in Paris on September 25th before ending in the UK on October 13th. So, excuse me. I'm like, my nose is running. I'm coughing. What the hell? Like, my allergies is just working my root canal nerve today. But anyway, I'd say, you know what? Oh, I forgot to hit my banner chair. It's like I'm a mess today. One of the things I will give it to Janet is that, you know what? Say what you want about her, but she know how to make that coin. And regardless of how people feel about her and stuff, you know what? And the whole blackball, blacklisting, whatever the hell it is you want to call it, Janet is still out here. She got her bevy of fans. The people will come out there and support her. She'll definitely turn it out in Vegas. She does give good show, regardless of how you feel about her and stuff. And she's an icon. She is a legend. She's an icon. She is the moment. So, in the words of Wendy Williams. So, I think this is actually a good look for her. And you know what? Sticking in one place while you're raising your son or whatever, because she's been traveling and doing this Together Again tour, so many different reiterations of it. Maybe with this new money that they're giving her, she can get more than four backup dancers and a minimal stage. Like, she could actually give y'all like fierce costumes, some fierce choreography. We can get to see more than four backup dancers behind her. Like, she's not somebody just started new and is just doing the clubs, because that's kind of what Jen has been given lately, like an icon on a budget. But I get it. She is independent. So she ain't out here flexing like Madonna and Kylie Minogue and all of them. But Kylie's also independent. So why y'all not backing up the Brinks for her to really give her what she needs in regards of the show, the type of show that we know she can give. So I guess we'll get that with the Vegas residency. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this? Are y'all excited for this new Janet Jackson residency? I may need to go see her, because I have not, as much as I like Janet, and yeah, I be throwing a little shade, but everybody gets it on equally on this show. I've never seen her perform live, and I would love to have that chance to see her get up there, to actually see a Janet Jackson show. So I may need to take my behind over to Vegas and see her when she comes later in the year. It's not only her. There's a lot of people doing residency. I mean, not residency. Well, is it really a residency? Because not Janet Jackson. Mariah Carey has a Christmas thing, but she does that every damn year, where she got a Christmas show that she's going to be doing or whatever. But she's doing it at quite a few different places in New York. I know she's got it at the UBS Arena. Then there was another place that she's doing. She's doing I think Barclays Center. She's got a couple of places she's doing in New York. But anyway, I started to say, what do y'all think of this whole Janet Jackson thing? Let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, so we have comments. He said, they're not making money. I heard it's $50 for both because the damn recession talks. Their stock market is crashing. What's $50? So now they're gonna up the price, because what they said was right now for 3 months with Disney Plus and Hulu and all that stuff, I'm paying not $30. I'm actually paying $17. And then after the trial, which is 3 months, it goes up to 30, which I'm saving. But if you sit up here talking about they're gonna make $50 million, $50, I'm like, that's a BS, because first of all, that's how much, if I really look at do the math on all three streaming services, that's probably around as much as I'm paying. But they're talking about just those two. But I already went with the bundle deal, so they better not touch that. Otherwise, I'm canceling it. I'm guessing they probably paid Janet like $50 million or more than that. They said, again, I believe it. It's hot as hell in Vegas. I would not survive. I would be just walking around mad all day. I hate sweating unless I'm working out at the gym or I'm fucking. That's the only reason why you should be sweating. Not just I leave from one place to the next. I'm walking a block and I'm literally drenched. Like, oh hell no. Yeah, Damn Baby is another favorite of mine of her songs. You said she only had 4 male dancers. To it. Yeah, they are cute. I saw her last year. You said, but Mariah, chill. As much as I love Mariah and how I was introduced to Mariah was one of my school teachers made me a cassette tape of her debut album. He knew I was a full-on homosexual. And then I heard that from what he told me was that he named his firstborn son after me. I'm like, should I be flattered? But anyway, so what was it? Oh, so yeah, he made me a cassette tape of Mariah Carey's debut album. And I was like, I was living for Mariah, I live for the songs and all other stuff, but yeah, I don't want to see somebody standing there in a damn great gowns, beautiful gowns, and then it's just a bunch of people dancing and they lifting you up and you just looking like a dead, a dead fish. So I can't. So I would be bored seeing her show. I don't like shows where people just stand around and sing. I need spectacle. I need razzle dazzle. Like, I would be bored, as much as I love Celine Dion, I'd probably be bored. But actually I wouldn't because, Celine be giving a show. She'd be punching her chest. She'd be doing all these dramatic moves and things of that nature. I'd probably be bored in an Adele concert. Although I do know she has a potty mouth, but that's not enough to get me excited. Because then, bitch, I'm like, sis, as much as I love you, Adele, I need subtitles. Because you be talking that thick ass accent you got, I be having a hard time understanding what the hell you saying. So I'd be bored with her too. Although I did see the setup of that stage. She's doing a residency in Munich, Germany, and I seen that the design. I'm like, bitch. I'm living for that. First of all, they just built that and it's going to be there for like 10 shows and then they tear it down. The LED lighting all over the place. It looks so retro futuristic. I'm like, that's a really cool thing. And I hope they don't make that a habit because then y'all going to put me out of a job if y'all is going to be creating venues for a short period, unless what happens is you have unions who are like, oh, well, you're creating this thing. I have people that can work those events and you work it for a couple of days, similar to when I did the cricket matches. It's like my union was in on that and then got us all in there to work that event, which was, I believe, a week. 2 weeks, actually. So if they do stuff like that, then I'd be like, okay, I'm okay with it. But the building of these temporary arenas, I kind of worry about that because I'm like, y'all taking away from these other places as well. Like I said, there was a video going viral of Mariah performing It's Like That, and people were trolling her for walking around the stage, but she has no stage presence. I said, she's a singer. I like the sassiness, but she bores me with her live performance. Can I tell y'all something? And I'm about to get real. I was going to say, I'm going to get vulnerable with y'all. I don't know what the hell was wrong with me. The other day, I watched the MDNA tour. I don't know why all of a sudden I decided to go and watch that tour. Do you know I cried twice watching that damn concert? Why the hell was I crying watching that concert? First of all, I can never get through Masterpiece without crying. And I've noticed that. I start singing the song, I watch the performance, all of a sudden I'm bawling. I'm like, why am I crying? And there was another part of when she did like a prayer. Why am I crying during that song? I'm like, what is going on? I just guess like what Robert says, welcome to your 40s. Well, not only the heat, but I've become an emotional wreck. Like the little things, I'm emotional, I'm crying. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with me? So I'm like, why am I crying watching this concert? First of all, it was a dark damn concert. Number one. First of all, there's many parts. I love the opening part. The, Girls Gone Wild, Revolver. I love the choreography for Revolver, especially like the gun choreography and stuff. I love Gang Bang, that whole performance. I'm like, this is taking a turn. I love that whole performance. I'm addicted. I love the choreography for that. Then I was looking at the list at the end, the credits, and I'm sitting there like, damn, she had like at least a good 10 different choreographers that was coming up with different segments of that show. So I don't know what's wrong. What the hell's wrong with me? I guess my hormones are just out of whack. They said I would only be disappointed at a Mariah concert if she didn't perform a single song from Butterfly. Okay, I do love that album too. Adele sold out Germany and had European gays crying in the audience. Ooh, well, they in their emotions too. I'm on the MDNA DVD when she gives her speech before Masterpiece. I may have to watch that back. I'm like, I may have seen you, but I was in my feelings. I wasn't paying attention. That was when Madonna was on top of the world before the Celebration tour. Okay. I'm assuming Madonna is your number one artist of all time. Yeah. Actually, you said I'm not going to that residency. Yeah. I feel, and I think I realized that when I was watching that concert. I'm like, you know what? I do feel like out of the many pop acts that I love, I think Madonna is the number one. And I think it's because she's my generation. Because I was a little kid, I didn't really become aware of Madonna until when I was able to first buy her first album, which was um Bedtime Stories. That was like the first album that I actually was able to buy with my allowance money because I was old enough to be able to like spend money and go to buy CDs and stuff. All the other stuff prior, like the first of all, I wish I was old enough to be able to go see her at what was that, at the Roxy when she did the whole reading of the book to the audience. I wish I was old enough to go to that. I envy all the gays I was able to get up in there. I said I want to be with my people. But it didn't happen that way. But yeah, I believe that she is my number one artist. But anyway, speaking of artists, let's get into this Justin Timberlake situation. So, well, Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears. So the other day we talked about Britney Spears and we talked about how they have the movie coming out from Universal Pictures. They got the rights to the memoir. I'm hearing Britney's got an 8-figure deal that she's going to be doing. I mean, that she's getting paid for the Woman in Me memoir. And people who are talked about in the book is Justin Timberlake, Christina Aguilera, Colin Farrell, Madonna, and Elton John. So Entertainment Weekly, did a list of who they think should play those people. We already did the Britney Spears thing. We don't need to go through that again. That was a long ass video. I'm like, God damn, this is a long video when I was editing it. Sometimes I even say that to myself about things. And, they had Sydney Sweeney was one of the choices. Sabrina Carpenter, that was one of my choices. Also, I've seen some people actually were here for the Millie Bobby Brown choice. But what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Entertainment Weekly and we'll scroll down as a class. Because I was sitting there like, you know what? I actually like some of these ideas of who they expect. And sidebar, did y'all hear the tea about Britney's sons want to rekindle a relationship with their grandfather, Jamie? And how, I don't know how I feel about that. This is why I need to have a conversation with my mother. I need to call her and ask her. Because I'll say this. Me growing up, I did not have the best relationship with my grandmother. I remember when I was 5 years old, she was like, she would just do real evil, mean fuck shit. And I remember one time at 5, I told her I don't like her. And I was just like, yeah, my mouth was crazy even when I was a kid. And I think she kicked me out the house or tried to get me in the house or whatever. And she hit me because I remember the last time I visited her, which was a couple of months ago, she told this story. And then I came in the house, something or another, she pissed me off, and I ran out the house and she left me outside in the rain. But the good thing was because my parents met on the same block, my father's parents lived up the street. So I just ran up the block and stayed over there and hung out with them and my cousins and stuff. So where was I going with that? Oh, so my mother also, even though she is taking care of my grandmother now, she has not had the best relationship with her mother because she always feels like that my mother will put my uncles and stuff. She puts her sons and everything over her. And my mother's the one that always steps up and takes care of her. My uncles, no shade, or maybe it is a little shade. My grandmother comes from has a lot of money. And she, we all see like y'all be using her. That y'all always got your hand out, like Oliver with the porridge. Please, sir, can I have some more? And y'all basically using her for her coin. And it's my grandmother's fault also because she likes to use money as a weapon to get what she wants out of her children and puts them against each other. So I know even though that's her mother, whatever, she doesn't have the best relationship. And there's been times where I've kind of like been hesitant of wanting to rekindle things with people who have hurt me in the past. And this is why I don't understand them. Jaden and Sean Preston, y'all are both Virgos. Like, what kind of Virgos are y'all? Because we not the type that just give you a 5 million damn chances. Like, there's a time we'll give you a chance, maybe one, maybe two, and then we cut y'all off. But I don't understand why her sons are trying to rekindle a relationship with the man that did so much to Britney and also caused her to lose partial custody of her sons. So with all the shenanigans that Jamie has done to their mother, why would y'all want to go and hang out with her and want to be with her and will be with him and go see Jamie Lynn and the kids and your grandmother Lynn? Like, why would y'all want to maintain a relationship? And I guess I would say, like, how far have they come with rekindling a relationship with their mother? Because we heard the stories about Britney and her sons rekindling a relationship, that she has kind of been visiting them when she would go out to Hawaii because she has a place out there, and they've kind of been having sort of a rapport with each other. I don't know at what level it is, but to me, I don't know how I would feel in that situation, because I'd be like, y'all are some damn traitors. Cut them out the damn will, and when that money dry up from that child support, you better go get a job at Denny's or somewhere, because you sure enough not being taken care of over here. If you're gonna be doing that, tell your grandfather to take care of you. How about that? So I don't. I'm all for like trying. I guess I'm on the fence. It's like, on one hand, you don't want to walk around with all that hatred in your heart, because I always try to be like that. It's like, even if there's people I don't like, I have to I make peace with it, and I keep you over there, and I keep my distance, and I'm like, out of sight, out of mind. I don't have to deal with you. But at the same time, you don't want to walk around just being bitter and evil. So I don't know what I would do in that situation. But if y'all have any ideas before we get to the other tea, let me know in the comments. So speaking of which, let's go to the EW thing, because I don't want to just run over my mouth. I said, like, for the class, we'll pull it up and we'll scroll on down. So the first choice, they said Harry Styles as Justin Timberlake. Now, I like Harry Styles. Y'all know I like me some Harry Styles, though. I do like that new album. He is a cutie. I don't know how I feel about this, though. Like, can Harry Styles play a douchebag? I'm sure he could. Like, I've seen Harry Styles act in a couple of things. I did not see that movie where he played the gay cop. I've been meaning to get around to it. You know, that's on what is it? Prime Video. I know he did like a movie where he played a gay cop, but I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if he has the range, but I did see him when he was in that movie with that looked like the Stepford Wives with Florence Pugh, another name that they chose to play Britney. So I don't know if so what they said, Harry Styles and Justin Timberlake don't share the strongest physical or vocal resemblance, but there's potentially poetic parallel between the two breakout stars of their respective generations. That because so it was Don't Worry Darling. I don't know why I couldn't think of the name of that damn movie, but I call that the Stepford Wives movie, because it gives me very that. Um, but yeah, I think the only thing they have in common is they were both in a boy band. I'm like, no, I don't see it. Now they said Joshua Bassett. Now I'm not familiar with who Joshua Bassett is. Let me see who they say he is. Oh, he's a Disney kid. So there's a common thing there with him, that they have a Disney thing. I think the only resemblance that they have, the curly hair. I think that's the only thing I could see. Like, okay, he's a cutie. He's got the curly hair. They probably have to dye it blonde, like they dyed Justin's hair blonde, because he's not. I don't think he was a natural blonde. They dyed his hair when he did that. Oh, so he was in High School Musical, the musical. And they said that he played the evil ex-boyfriend after becoming the internet's target in a social media conspired feud between his exes. Oh, he used to date Olivia Rodrigo and Sabrina Carpenter? Let me find out. Oh, you was out here juggling the girl. Okay, so they said Deacon Philippi. Now, first of all, Deacon is cute. Deacon is the son of Ryan Phillippe and Reese Witherspoon. But the question is, does he have acting range? He looked just like his father. I don't know if he has acting experience. Well, they said he did Never Have I Ever. I don't know what that is. Never seen it. Um, oh, so he is a musician. So not a blonde ramen noodle wig child. um, I can't see that. But Deacon is cute. But I don't know but I need to know if he's got some range. So y'all just putting names out here because y'all are just thinking about, okay, some cute little white boys or whatever. But y'all gotta be able to play a dick. Like, come on now. Because okay, now Aaron Taylor Johnson. I like Aaron Taylor Johnson. You know, I've seen people fawning over the fact of like his new look, because I think he shaved his whole face or whatever the case is. Aaron is a cutie, but Aaron, no shade, is a little too old to play Justin Timberlake. Aaron, I believe, is in his 30s. So I can't see him playing that. And to me, Aaron Taylor Johnson gives me more of a rocker. type of look versus a cutesy, cuddly, pretty boy bander type. So I'm not with the Aaron Taylor Johnson. So far, y'all are failing at this whole situation. They say he played John Lennon. So I'm like, okay, John Lennon was like a rocker. Now, yeah, so I don't see it. So far, I'm not feeling any of the boy banders. The male actors that y'all chose. I think the closest one, Joshua Bassett. I think he's the closest one that I could see possibly playing him. But if y'all have any other names that they have not mentioned, drop it down in the comments. Now, Sabrina Carpenter, they said, Britney Spears. But you want to know something? I could definitely see her as Christina Aguilera more so than Britney. So I think that's a good look. So they said Britney's arch rival needs two qualities: powerhouse vocals and intimidatingly short stature. Oh yeah, because Christina is a tiny little thing. And they said her recent success on the pop charts has overshadowed her decade-long career as a screen actress. So I think like Sabrina Carpenter might be a better choice to play Christina because Christina and Sabrina, Christina, like even the names sound almost similar. Their careers kind of mimic each other. So I could totally see that happening. Now they said Maddie Ziegler as Christina Aguilera. Isn't Maddie Ziegler the one that always does the Sia music videos? Like she's Sia's muse, just like a muse to me. You are a mystery. They said that she may not be able to sing like Christina, but she could certainly dance, and she shares an unpredictable edge with Aguilera that makes her a perfect foil for Spears. Okay. Then they said Tate McRae as Christina Aguilera. Okay, I could definitely see Tate McRae. But Tate McRae is not, I don't think she's not good of a dancer either. Tate McRae does definitely give, it's funny how like y'all was sitting there picking all the Britney ones, but to me, now that I'm looking at these same ones that y'all said that should have played Britney, Tate McRae and Sabrina Carpenter definitely give me Christina vibes in regards to the feature. So I actually am thinking like these are better choices for Christina than Britney. I feel like, you know what? I don't remember who said it, but I do agree that Britney needs an open casting call. Y'all need to just find somebody out there who's an up and coming kid, who's out there, got their own music career going on in the industry and is trying to on the come up and wants that opportunity to become that triple threat, the singer, the dancer, the actress. And I think that's the way y'all should go. Okay, so now they said Renee Rapp as Christina Aguilera. I don't know, Renee Rapp, no shade, she look a little too old in the face. So I can't see it. And why in this picture her face look dirty? Another thing with her, and like I know she was on, Renee Rapp is the Mean Girls and things of that nature, but to me, am I the only one that really cannot get into Renee Rapp? Like, I don't see her appeal. Like, I've been seeing enough times, like, people, the white blogs, the girly blogs, y'all, the basic blogs, y'all all talk about Renee Rapp, but it's like, I'm not seeing it for her. Not the way that I see, Sabrina Carpenter, Chapel Roan, Charlie XCX. Like, I don't see her in the same lane. It's no shade. She just don't pop out to me. So, chat, now y'all shady for this. They said JoJo Siwa as Jamie Lynn Spears. Now that's a cackle. First of all, I cannot see JoJo Siwa playing her. Number one, JoJo Siwa is a little too butch to be playing Jamie Lynn. Y'all need somebody a little softer and pinker to be playing Jamie Lynn. Now, if y'all was doing a biopic and y'all needed somebody to play Melissa Etheridge, y'all could pick JoJo Siwa, but not Jamie Lynn. So disagree on that. They said Willow Shields as Jamie Lynn Spears. I don't know who Willow Shields is. Y'all do have the same chin. So maybe that could work. Okay, so they said that she's more tied to Little Sister Energy than Willow Shields. Her 4 consecutive appearances so she played Primrose Everdeen. That's who she is. I was like, I didn't recognize her with that picture. With this picture. So I feel like, you know what, based off the features, and now that she's been in a Hunger Games movie, and I do like the Hunger Games, and Katniss, and I live for Miss Primrose. So I feel like she'd be the perfect choice. Now let's move on to Barry Keoghan as Colin Farrell. That I can actually say. First of all, Colin Farrell's a cutie, and shout out to him with that sex tape that exists, that's floating around there, and he eat the box too. So And cute little ding-a-ling. The ding-a-ling was ding-a-linging. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, this bell was made for ringing. Um, and Barry Keoghan, they look, him and Colin Farrell did a movie together. What was it called? The Banshees of Inisherin. I was like, I couldn't think of what the name. I was almost called the Bastards of Inisherin. But the Banshees of Inisherin, which is on HBO Max, if y'all want to check that out. So they've done a movie together, and that's basically when we first got wind of Barry Keoghan. Isn't he dating a pop star? I didn't look that up. I know he's dating somebody famous. I know Jeremy Allen White is dating Rosalia. That's probably what I'm thinking of. But I think Barry Keoghan is also dating somebody who's like a musician or something like that. I gotta look that up, and I don't feel like Googling it, Google schmoogling it right now. So I could possibly see, because they have what do you call it? They have a connection because they did a movie together. I could totally see Barry playing Colin Farrell. They said Nicholas Hoult is Colin Farrell. No, I can't see that. First of all, I see Nicholas Hoult. First of all, his perfect casting is the fact that he's playing Lex Luthor in the new Superman movie. So that's perfect casting for me. But I can't see Nick Hoult playing Colin Farrell. And I like Nick Hoult. His career is finally getting where it needs to be. Like, he's that guy who's had that steady acting career. And I've always been a Nick Hoult fan. And I'm glad that he's finally getting his just due. And I really believe he's going to turn it out as Lex Luthor in the new Superman movie. And I'm looking forward to seeing that in 2025 now that they wrapped it up and they're doing all the post stuff. So, but I can't see him playing Colin Farrell. And it says that he's a decade, Nick is 34, so nearly a decade older than Farrell was during his short-lived 2003 romance with Britney Spears. Wait, so he was 24 when he got, they say he was 26 and Spears was 22. Wait, Colin Farrell is 4 years older than Britney Spears? Why am I having a hard time wrapping my head around that? Because I be forgetting, like, this shit happened. They got together 20 years ago. I guess I didn't realize it because child time be flying when with all this stuff going on. But I don't think it matters. Like, nobody's gonna know your age when you up there doing the movie. Now, child, this was shady for y'all. Y'all were petty for this one. Lady Gaga is Madonna. Really? Y'all tried it. But look, it is a gaggle. Could you imagine if they did that? They say Madonna likely won't have much, if any, screen time in a Britney biopic, but Spears' worship of the Queen of Pop is persistent, as she repeatedly refers to her as a crucial mentor and hero whose example loomed large in the toxic singer's psyche for most of her career. With that in mind, she would be wise to cast someone with a massive star persona like Lady Gaga, another pop idol heavily inspired by the Like a Prayer singer, who you telling, to fill Madonna's shoes for one or two key scenes. Who better to recreate the VMA kiss? You know what? If y'all really want to piss Madonna off, yeah, go ahead. And even though there's no shade and stuff between them, go ahead and do that. First of all, Gaga wouldn't do it because she hates the Madonna comparisons. Madonna said what she said with the whole reductive thing. It was nothing shady in the beginning, but she said what she said. And we know during the MDNA tour, which I told her I just watched a couple of days ago again, the whole blending of Express Yourself, Born This Way, and then She's Not Me, and had all that kind of combined in the sequence, which was cute or whatever. And that's the only way I could tolerate Give Me All Your Lovin', was that whole segment, because I hate that song. But the way she worked in that MDNA tour works it for me. But I do like the idea that Entertainment Weekly did kind of go with. I felt like the smart choice for them to be was the next one, which is they said Julia Garner as Madonna. And y'all already know Julia Garner is already playing Madonna in the biopic whenever they get started on that. I know Madonna's been tightening up the script. She's been restructuring it, working on some things, and trying to get everything together. So I totally see, like, yeah, just keep it sticking to the rivers and the lakes. Once Madonna is done with her biopic with Julia Fox, I'm so Julia. That's the other Julia. Julia Garner. What should happen is then you get her for the other movie. Keep it consistent. So it's like, oh, she got a cameo in this movie, but also she got the big star role in the other movie. But then again, who knows when they're going to start filming this Britney biopic, and if Julia will be, available in time to, play both. But I like her. And they said Sebastian Stan as Kevin Federline. Can I tell y'all, I have the biggest damn crush on Sebastian Stan. That is a fine ass goddamn man. I also think he plays in our team too. I don't know for sure, but I get that vibe. That I would definitely eat his box. His man box, honey. So Sebastian Stan is outside of his unceasing, sorry, commitment to playing a grown man named Bucky. That's Bucky Barnes, if you're nasty. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Sebastian Stan seems addicted to portraying scummy boyfriends. Who you telling? Because he has played a lot of scummy boyfriends. Like he played Tommy Lee, and he was also in I, Tonya, where he played Tonga's husband. So he's always played, douchebags. But I was like, yeah, you can definitely get him to play Kevin Federline. Faux shiz. But I agree with this one. I actually like Chet Hanks. First of all, Chet Hanks is another one that I would climb. I know he's like he give me douchebag vibe. Why do I have a thing for douchey men? I just think it's like douchey men to just like fuck all that frustration and take it out on their orifices. Just to get back at their asses. Like, yeah, you definitely like the type to put their head, put their feet up on your shoulders and just tear that coochie up and just, put all your aggression into tearing it up. That's what it gives me, that kind of vibe. But I don't know if Chet Hanks has acting experience. I've heard he's acted in things before. I'm more familiar with his brother Colin than Chet as an actor. So, but I know he's currently in the surreal life. But to me, I definitely see Chet Hanks as Kevin Federline because their overall look, their demeanor, all of that stuff is very similar. Where Chet Hanks is basically, and Kevin Federline at the time basically gave sort of like white boy, like swaggy white boy vibes. Like he's like I've heard Britney has hunched black dudes, and she goes hard for black men, black people. One time somebody called her bodyguard the N word, and she was about to f them up. And Britney hooked up with allegedly Columbus Short back in the day because I think he was in Crossroads or he was in one of her videos or something or another, if I remember correctly. But yeah, she word on the street, she hooked up with Columbus. I think he would have spilled that tea. So Chet Hanks definitely gives that whole white boy with swag, so he could definitely play that up. Just don't do no Jamaican patois, Chad. Because we don't want to hear that. Now, they said Taron Egerton as Elton John. Now, that's funny because Taron Egerton actually played Elton John in his biopic. So I could definitely see Taron up in there doing that or playing that part because he was in Rocket Man. And they did the Hold Me Closer song. But I'm like, first of all, I don't think there would be I really don't see Taron Egerton even being in that because Elton John really doesn't have any kind of space or whatever in her biopic or not biopic in the memoir for her to even be putting him in the film. So it makes no sense for Elton John to be a part of that as far as I can remember. And last but certainly not least, child, now this is a cackle. Michelle Williams as the narrator. Now, if you listen to if you listen to Britney's memoir, you already know that Michelle does the audible version of the book. And her dramatic reading was very fundamental, not fundamental. And look, I can't even bring up Justin Timberlake and the whole book and all this other stuff without going faux shiz because the way she said it. So I could definitely see Michelle Williams as the narrator. But I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Who do y'all think that they haven't set up in here that could play all those characters? Who should play Justin Timberlake? Who should play Christina Aguilera? Who should play Colin Farrell? I believe they should get Michelle Williams to be the narrator. That would be the ultimate cackle, to have her just be the voice of the movie. Very Dexter style for a lot of the significant parts of the film. I would love for there to be a narrator as y'all tell them the story, whatever, and all the other cast of characters that's in the film. It just goes to show that some of the names that they was coming up with, that there's not a lot of really big stars that are being created in this industry. And y'all really need to take the time to create some stars, share, because it's a mess out in these streets. But anyway, let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, let's scroll on up. Let's scroll on up. I'll say MDNA is more to life on that tour. I love the tracks, but I got the messages. Got Richie Pistol all big time. Yeah, because look, you really felt her disdain for that man when she performed Love Spent. And they had all that money up on the stage and all that other stuff. And then the dancer was tightening up her corset. I was like, oh, first of all, who was the dancer behind her? And number two, she basically was saying that did God love her or did he love her cointadas? And it was a good thing at the time that she incorporated Rocco in the show because I believe that was the part of their relationship was starting to kind of get a little waney. And so I like the fact that she incorporated him into the show during two segments. During, the Masterpiece performance, he comes out and dances, and the Shaka Yo performance, which is before Masterpiece. And then during the end, when they're doing celebration and he gets flown, shot into the air, and then he gets in there, does his little dance with the choreographers, all the dancers and stuff during that performance. I was like, I know Madonna had to be tired doing that show because that was, I believe, one of her most physical tours that she's done. And she was in her 50s doing all of that. I'm like, sis. And we see, like, that's why I feel like now at this point, I'd be like, girl, you just need to relax. Like, you don't need to kill yourself anymore. Like, we've seen how much you've given to us as fans with so many of the tours that you've done over the years. You don't really need to prove nothing to us anymore. Like, from, all your amazing shows are back in the day, but we've seen like how immensely physical a lot of them was, particularly the Confessions tour. There was so many moving parts on that one. The MDA tour, I feel like that had the most moving part. That stage was moving up and down and things was going. It was so much happening in that show. It was a lot going on. So MDNA was the closest I ever got to see her. She would walk by my friends and me and smile. The first time she came by us, my friend Eric dropped his phone, probably because he was nervous. I thought she did more hits on both MDNA and Rebel Heart, even with Madam X, to get people to come. 13 greatest hits, 11 MDNA tracks, Rebel Heart, same way. And that's what it was like, yeah, you got to give the people the hits because at some point, you got to be able to balance it. You could use some of the songs that weren't big hits off the album, but you could always find ways to incorporate make those songs, even though they weren't hits or singles, make them interesting by the concepts y'all would come up with, the stage presence, the choreography, the costumes, all that stuff, which made it awesome. Like, I feel like a lot of people said they wanted a gangbang music video. We never got it. And I know she wanted Quentin Tarantino to direct it, but if you can't get Quentin Tarantino, get the next best thing, whoever that is, that would kind of give you that whole Western-esque, I'm on a rampage shooting up everybody type of vibe. They're out there. And so I never got along with my dad's mother. She never made any effort to know my sisters or me, and I didn't know as a kid, but she hated my mom. I don't know why, because people could be jealousy. Who knows? And so my mom's mom was a grandparent I never knew because her father died before I was born. Oh yeah, it was my policeman. Yeah, I never saw that. And so that's the driver's license. Okay. It said Maddie is in a few of I said Maddie Ziegler, I believe is she basically, I believe, is Sia's muse. She uses her in a lot of her music videos. And so they said they're just throwing around A-list names, and I can't, okay, because I was sitting there like, that's what I say, as a class, we're just going to scroll through this thing and see. There was very few that stood out for me. For the most part, I wasn't feeling that list I was not feeling that list at all. Exactly. I was like, JoJo C was Jamie Lynn Child. First of all, JoJo C was too damn butch to be playing Jamie Lynn damn Spears. I said if they was doing a Melissa Etheridge biopic, y'all could pick her. But not for no damn Jamie Lynn. JoJo C was Jamie Lynn Spears. Let that sit with you for a second. Okay. Barry is dating. Thank you. That's what I knew he was dating a pop star. Sabrina Carpenter. Child, he probably tearing that coochie up. But anyway, they said if they're gonna have Madonna in the movie, they should have Janet and Michael. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of celebrities they have to put in that damn name. Alex said this list just aggravated the F. I was like, EW, I'm with y'all when I'm with y'all, but that whole list was a damn chop. And it said, but now people only focus on her age. They don't realize everything she's done. And it's a little tired and it's late. And I'm surprised, speaking of which, when we were talking about the VMAs, I'm surprised like the nominations, which I told you I was bored with. I'm surprised that we didn't hear anything about, remember the rumors? They were talking about they were going to give Vanguard awards to people. Like, I'm surprised we haven't heard anything about that. But I guess today we get the nominations, and then the next couple of days, now that the nominations are out, we'll probably get who's performing, Of course, you know they're gonna have Taylor Swift perform, and of course Travis Kelce's gonna be in the audience. They're probably gonna recommend he be there. But then again, isn't it? Aren't they doing football practice? I don't even know if he'll be able to show up, but more than likely they'll show up. They'll probably have some. Well, no, I don't know if Sabrina Carpenter will be able to perform because I know Sabrina is about to go on tour. But unless they do like something where they usually do, they'll show her live during one of her concerts, and then they'll have the cameras basically zone in, zoom in. We'll say zoom, even though it won't be zoom, but they'll be like, be a satellite, and she performs one of her biggest hits or whatever, her latest hit off the new album or something. And then we'll get that instead of her actually performing at the VMAs. Unless she'd be like, okay, that's the day off. We just take something from the show and we perform it there. So they're gonna have to figure out how they're gonna make it interesting to see who's gonna perform and who gets the Vanguard Award and all that other mess. Like in a post about Michael and Madonna on Instagram, they kept saying Madonna was jealous and they weren't on the same. That's bullshit. Because first of all, we all know that the triple trifecta of that time coming up, it was it was Madonna, Michael Jackson, and Prince. They were the triple trifecta of who we looked at. That was like the Mount Rushmore of pop stars. And then, for good measure, to add to the fourth, because they were like the ones who did the triple threat: sing, dance, and perform. Like they were just all around performer. What I was going to say, act. Although all three of them have acted. Prince did Purple Rain. Madonna's done a couple of movies. Michael Jackson starred in a couple of movies. But as far as like we talk about those icons, if we did the Mount Rushmore, I think the fourth we'd add Whitney Houston, because Whitney Houston was that girl too, and they all around the same damn age. So can you imagine? Yes, I hope she does too. I'm an Oscar winner. That was me doing. That was my Chad Michaels interpretation of Cher. I'm Cher, bitch. And throw a little Jack McFarlane. Oh. Who used to do that too? That whole noise that used to get on my nerves. Pheromone. I never realized how much of a whiner she is until I'm rewatching the season that she was on. The first season with Eureka, when Lady Gaga was the main judge in the first episode, and then they brought Miss Cuckoo back. I didn't realize how much of a whiner she was. But anyway, let's move on to this tea. Since we were talking about Justin Timberlake earlier, we got to talk about this John B thing. So 90s Blue Eyed Soul singer Jonathan Buck, a.k.a. John B., who's 48, made an appearance on a recent podcast and had a few choice words for his musical peers. Now, Buck, who is of Jewish and Dutch descent, recently appeared on the Can We Talk R&B podcast. Can we talk for a minute? That's what I was thinking of. Shout out to Tevin Campbell. With Ian Bond. And due to his unfiltered comments about a few artists, is finding himself on the receiving end of cancel culture. Now, after praising Robin Thicke, another white soulful crooner, and how he reportedly sampled the guitar lick from his classic ballad, They Don't Know, he spoke on how the record gets sampled. Gunna and Chloe used a sample on their song You and Me in 2022, and John called the song Ratchet. Now, we do have the clip, and I have to say, John looked good. At 48, he is not aged. But, one of the things I will say that I don't like, I'm so sick of people that be doing those interviews indoors with some damn shades off. I need to see eyeballs. Like, take the damn shades off. Take off the shade blockers. But anyway, let's get to the clip and then we'll talk. Please hold.
Going to do a deep dive of They Don't Know.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
yeah.
They Don't Know. I'm aware. I know Tim Kelly or Tim and Bob was a part of that one as well, right?
Oh yeah, they did the track. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I play this song.
What an amazing track!
Come on, man.
To this day.
I play that song, and the guitar lick still has me in a chokehold.
The guitar lick is okay. So you heard the new Robin Thicke song?
His newest single? I have not.
Yeah, it's the They Don't Know guitar lick.
Come on,
I'm gonna just go ahead and say it right now on this podcast. Like, listen to it. It has a bang, at somewhere. Look, it may not be exactly the same thing.
It's a derivative.
Robin, it's in there. It goes bang, ding, 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 right? Bro. Because you love that song, don't you? All right, yeah, you do. I love your song too. Your songs.
I love that.
But it went bang, didn't it? It went bang, ding, ding.
Come on.
Let me talk my shit. No,
I love
but no, it does get sampled every year.
Sure.
You know, by someone. Last year was Gunna and Chloe Bailey.
That's right.
They put that Ratchet record out that I couldn't stand.
Oh man.
And I wish they never did.
Man.
And actually never got my rights to do that record either. So we gotta holler about that.
That's some business to take care
That's
of.
some business shit we gotta handle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know what? It's all a compliment to what we did.
Sure.
That's Tim and Bob compliment. That's
No
me
doubt.
compliment. But at the same time, my lane is my lane and my area is my area. And I earned that.
No doubt.
Just like if you made a hit in your area and you do your song, whatever it is, I'm not gonna just come into your area, take your joint and make it mine, and then I'll pay you or whatever. So, that being
That's
said,
right. That's your
but I've been
creation.
very, very humble about my whole approach to this whole music industry thing.
Yeah.
Because if I wanted to be rah-rah and come out and say a lot of different things, I could be Cat Williams right now.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be thought of as a guy who's disenfranchised or sort of like, complacent in any way.
Sure.
I'm very blessed.
Absolutely.
And I'm on top. I'm up.
That's right. That's right.
And so
Apparently, people was mad over what John B said. And I'm sitting there like, first of all, that's his song. That is an iconic song. He wrote the damn song. And now I don't know what the business situation was in regards of like the rights on who owns it, if he owns the masters, but apparently Sony Music cleared it, so they were able to use it. So I don't know what his business situation is. So while he is saying like, yeah, they should ask me in response or my permission, this, that, and the other, they probably did all the clearing through the label. And if John B doesn't own the rights, unfortunately, I guess, no shade, but they don't necessarily have to go through him to get the permission. That they go where, the lawyers, the legal people go in and do it. And here's the thing. Now, I listened to the song with Chloe and Gunna. The song is trash. And I hate when y'all take songs that mean one thing, like whatever you feel that the song is about. Let's just say, like, if we talk about love and just in general, like whatever the sample is that y'all decide to use, that it means this one thing, and then you come in here and you basically want to use a sample and talk about blowing people's head off, or it's a eating coochie song, or eating a booty hole song, or sticking dildos in your ass song. Like, y'all go and turn stuff that means this one thing into something completely different, and then y'all basically just fuck up the thing. And I've been hearing way too many songs and way too many people using samples for things, and when you listen to it, it sounds uninspired. It sounds lazy. I feel like y'all just be using the samples or whatever because it's something familiar and y'all want to tap into a time that y'all wasn't a part of because y'all wasn't around, y'all was too young, whatever the case is. But then y'all go and take the sample and turn it into something else. And he has a right to feel how he feels, which is why it irritated me that people was up in here going in on him, because he did try to clean up the sentiments that from what he said earlier and said being sampled is a compliment. Many was upset with him because one person said, "A white man calling two black people ratchet is crazy." Now here, hold the motherfucking phone. See, this is the thing I hate too. Stop weaponizing gender, race, and all that other stuff when y'all want to make a damn point. What the fuck does him being white and using the word ratchet towards two black people got to do with it being a microaggression or racist? I don't even get that from what I was getting from that. First of all, John B has been loved by a lot of black people for over 3 decades. So I don't know where. So I don't know how old a person was that came out and said, but this gives me Gen Z tease. And it's like, if y'all don't know what the hell y'all talking about, like, sit down and shut the fuck up and sit up here and talk about that he's, calling people ratchet. First of all, I didn't know ratchet was a word only adopted by black folks. A lot of people use ratchet. Ratchet just means not good, messy. I didn't like it. Ghetto. Is ghetto a black word too? Because last time I checked, white folks lives in ghettos too. They call it the trailer park. So, or it's not necessarily ratchet and ghetto is not only talking about Black people. If you only trying to put it in that kind of box, but what do you? I want to know what you think about your own self and your own people. Now, singer-songwriter Isadore Noir, I don't know who that is, but okay, we'll go on with it, tweeted, I 100% understand him not being happy about sample clearance, but issue a copyright strike or cease and desist or whatever you have to do. But the scorn and way he's talking about two young Black artists is incredibly disappointing. Here's the thing. Like I say, if the song is trash, if I'm an artist, I should be able to express my opinion on how I feel about another artist. Now, another chimed in tweeting, it's one thing to not like the sample of the song you don't own, but watch them out. Also, this is why I don't care for Blue Eye Soul, excluding Tina Marie. Now, Tina was my girl. This is why I'm not impressed / moved by what y'all perceive as soulful white artists or white musicians stepping above their normal mediocrity to perform at a level that's basic for Black musicians. This is why I'm belligerent against those tight-ass cookout invites y'all love to pass out. # close the gates. Okay, now, you doing the most, number one, with that comment. Somehow you don't care for Blue Eye Soul and why you're not impressed by what y'all perceive as soulful white artists. So because he talked about y'all basic-ass faves like Chloe and Gunna, all of a sudden he's basic or less than? He been making music long before they was even born. So what the hell are you talking about? And if a lot of times y'all don't know what y'all talking about, kindly shut the fuck up. Now, others came to John's defense. One fan wrote, John B. ain't said nothing wrong. As another added, they didn't get sample rights to a classic, used it and butchered it. But people hung up that he called the Virgin ratchet. You youngins don't understand John B.'s contribution to R&B movement. Exactly. Wanted to be in Justin Timberlake because, and we're about to get into that clip that I'm about to switch over to next, but what people were trying to say was that Justin Timberlake was trying to swagger jack John B style because John B came out before Justin Timberlake. John B came out with an album called Bonafide. Justin Timberlake came out with an album called Justified. So there was the similarities that was there in regards of like the type of music they was doing. And for y'all to sit up out here and just dismiss John B as just being some bitter old white dude stepping on Black people's toes, it's like you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't understand his contribution to music. And just because his career, in your opinion, has never been on a level of, and quiet as it's kept, Gunna and Chloe still trying to get on a level where people taking their ass seriously musically. So I don't know what the hell y'all talking about. Just because they floating around in TikTok and all these other spaces don't necessarily mean their career is where John B's career is, which he may not be like this big mainstream A-list, whatever, but he still has a career where he gets to go out there and make music and perform and still sell out the venues that he's doing. Now, I don't know if they arenas. I don't think they arenas. He could do a House of Blues, whatever the case was. John B out here still making a steady coin. So what are y'all talking about? And I hate when y'all want to sit and equate how many tickets are selling out in a certain space with status. It's like y'all really don't understand or know what y'all talking about in this damn business. But anyway, so also in the interview, John took shots at Justin Timberlake's latest flop of an album, Everything I Thought It Was. It even called the visuals on his latest single, called out the visuals, I should say, on his latest single, Trash. Now, we do have that clip. Now, we're going to play that, and then we'll talk. Please hold.
Influence starts with the influence, whether you admit it or not. Yeah, I mean, look at Justin Timberlake. He wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for me. No, I'm just playing.
You know what?
I'm sorry, but that new single though is trash, and I'm not feeling his music at all anymore. And the video is even more trash.
Come on.
I don't really like that. I don't like all this demonic shit. Like you sell your soul to be popular or something, or to give your allegiance to some hidden powers behind the scenes. Listen, we making R&B music over here. Yeah. Love music, yo. And I stand in the face of fear and hatred and anger and sadness like an angel of light. Yeah. Looking at you. I see you.
Come on.
I see you watching.
Come on.
Okay. And so he gave his opinion on that. And I guess, look, there were some people in the comments that was upset with that too. Now, one person put, now, John, I like you, but you look like a hater, sir. Stop it. If you don't like his music, keep it pushing. Not everyone liked all of the songs on your albums. Yeah, but we not talking about his music. Well, I guess they are talking about his music. But here's the thing. Why is it that if I'm being asked a question by a host, why can't I give my opinion on it? And I do feel like Justin Timberlake has been influenced by a lot of the Blue Eye Soul singers before him. Why does this guy? Robin Thicke was getting it too, where they was calling him a colonizer of, the R&B music. And so in the whole situation, another person put one of the things of 2000s R&B and R&B period. That Cool Relax album alone is legend. John did not hold back. I respect that. Didn't he work? I believe he also he worked with Babyface on a lot of stuff. Babyface was considered one of the icons of R&B back in the day when he worked with all the greats. Toni Braxton, which from what I remember hearing, what her debut album was very much like an Anita Baker record. A lot of songs that I guess Anita Baker didn't want to do, they ended up doing with Toni Braxton. And so, Toni Braxton does in so many ways remind me of Anita Baker, even down to that bowl haircut she used to wear back in the day. Then somebody asked what Justin Timberlake song he talking about. Child, wasn't it mentioned that what song he was talking about? No Angels, which I did see a little bit of the visuals that we had in the Neighborhood Talk clip, but I don't want to play that on here because I don't want to get like a strike against the channel. So I'm not gonna play it. Y'all just have to look it up, Google Schmoogle, or go off on the YouTube. But yeah, there was like some demonic visuals and stuff up in there. But look, I feel like what he was saying was like, he said that I don't get all this demonic stuff. You would sell your soul to be popular or something. And a lot of these artists do. Like when y'all be talking about demon worshiping, Illuminati, all that other stuff, y'all be talking about, oh, they got part of the Illuminati, all that mess. Or giving your allegiance to some hidden power. Isn't that always the accusation of Justin? Where he would throw all these other people under, but particularly the whole Janet Jackson situation. Les Moonves was going to cancel his ass until he went groveling, bending the knee and kissing the ring of him, so that way he wouldn't get canceled, and he was easily forgiven while Janet Jackson was thrown under the bus and was blackballed. So he should be allowed to express what he said. He should be able to say what he said. Another person said, I love John, but this is a weird take. If he's not your style anymore, that's cool. We can't make everyone evil to fit a narrative. And that man didn't need any help with, that's a damn lie. He didn't need any help with popularity. So everybody just woke up and all of a sudden became a Justin Timberlake fan. Like every artist, when they work with the right amount of people and they get a right amount of push, especially from MTV and all the other conglomerates, because he's a white male and comes from a place of privilege, of course he had help with his popularity. What do y'all think he just woke up one morning, all of a sudden he just gained fans? That's not how the industry works. So I say all this to say, whether you like John, whether you agree with him or disagree with him, he should be allowed to express his feelings. If you're doing an interview, I'm not going to sit there and be like, no comment, because I'm worrying about what y'all about to say on some social damn media. If you ask me a question and you ask me about a record and how I feel about a certain artist, I'm not giving you diplomatic answers. Y'all get mad when people give these vague diplomatic answers, and then when they give y'all answers and don't play into the whole vague space or whatever the case is, because they're not willing to sell a soul and kiss nobody's ass in the industry so that way they can get certain places, that they have a really good copacetic career, because at the end of the day, I can sleep at night, living my best life and doing all the things I need to do, then y'all get mad about that too. So regardless of what he would have said, y'all would have not, you can't win for losing, I guess, as I will say. And the people, like I said earlier, if people are sampling his song, he should be financially compensated, or you should ask his permission, and, out of respect. And look, I said it before, I'm sick and tired of these artists taking samples and all this other stuff and doing what they want to do and making these uninspired tracks. But you know what? Then again, maybe this is how people felt when Diddy was out here sampling all the damn Motown. You know what? Berry Gordy must have made a sick amount of money off of Diddy, because all his biggest hits were samples. That's all he did. He never really created original beats. It was just, you would just take from old classics and do whatever you want. But I always say, you know what? come up with your own stuff so that way y'all can pass it down to the next generation of people. That's all I gotta say on that. So I say, well, let's just say, what do y'all think of this whole thing? Are y'all understanding of John B and his feelings in this situation, or do you feel that he's bitter? I don't feel like he's bitter. I feel like when you get to be a certain age, which he is almost at 50, he's on the later side of 40, he's almost 50 years old in 2 years. You should be able to express yourself on how you feel if you don't like a particular version of somebody's song. And you should be able to express your opinion if you think that Justin Timberlake music is trash, which most of y'all do feel like that. Because if you didn't, a lot of y'all would have went out and bought his new album. But you didn't. Now, did you? Now you mad because he's saying what a lot of y'all was thinking, but y'all want to sit up here with your fake ass outrage. So I'll say all this to say, let me know what you think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, now we have comments. Please hold as I scroll up to get to them. So you said I thought he was cute when he started out. Oh, you talking about John B? Mm-hmm. He definitely got a little white boy swag. He might have smoked some weed or something. That's probably why he's with. Oh, yeah, well, he probably does smoke weed. I did see his unsung. They said, watch his unsung. Those songs about his ex-wife, but it was making love, falling in love back then. It was normal to now. And that's the thing, too. Like, people seem to forget R&B music, and I think that's why people feel the way they feel. Because back in the day, when we was growing up, and yeah, there was, I'm sure in R&B, they was talking about hunching and stuff, too. But back in the day when I was growing up, when we listened to them, when we listened to them R&B songs, them love-making songs, they were real creative in regards of how they would spin certain words. Now, these days, y'all just be vulgar and straight to the point. I hope this is not me turning into, like, you know, very okay boomer with my comments, even though I'm not a boomer. But I just hope I'm not getting like, oh my God, like I'm real conservative in my belief, like in my opinion on this. But it's just like I feel like R&B music is lacking. Y'all lack inspiration. You lack creativity, lyrically, aesthetically, orally, and I mean AURALLY, meaning the ears, sound, sonically, that sort of thing. So I don't know. I just feel like R&B is just not the same anymore, and it's just like it's uninspired, and I'm not liking a lot of what I've been hearing. And it's like y'all would just be literally talking about eating pussy. Like there was phrases and words you can come up with that made it, you know, made us be like, oh, so that's what that song was about. Y'all don't even do that anymore. Now it's just vulgar. So it said before the first date in the 90s, if it happened, it was a one-night stand. Child, shout out to all the one-night stands. Artists should do what James Brown did before he approved the sample. Send him the lyrics. James made Janet send the lyrics, so that's the way love goes, to make sure no explicit lyrics was present. Yeah, they need to do that. It's almost like we can't give our opinions anymore about people. And that's why I was like, you know what? That's why I shout out to Kathy Lee. I was going to make that as a topic, but I'm like, I could just bring it up. She was somehow like, I don't think she would survive in today's climate of being a personality because people so damn sensitive. Like the stuff what her and Regis were doing back in the day on Regis and Kathy Lee, she was like, they probably be canceled. And I'm just like, y'all need to let people be funny. Y'all need to allow people to just express themselves. And I feel like that's why a lot of us are thriving on streaming, you know, on YouTube and those other places. This is where all the talent and stuff is going because network TV, y'all so scared to just let people say their stuff, to express themselves within meaning and respect. If y'all have a rapport with each other, if Regis and Kathy Lee or the whoever, you know, back then, they knew each other. They knew where they could poke each other and make little jokes or whatever the case was. And they was cool. And it wasn't a problem. And that's why people live for them because it's like, you can't even say, but now these days, you can't even say nothing. You can't express yourself. People want to get all, you know, any little thing they want to nitpick or call you, you're a misogynist, you're sexist, you're racist, you're a homophobe. This is like, it's jokes. And if we know, and if, as long as we respect each other in a sort of way, we know each other is triggered. Like, okay, so what are things you don't want me to talk about? What do you not want me to put? Like, if you have infertility issues, I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna throw it even. Oh, that's why you can't have no damn kid. Now, if you say some shit like that, then that's just utterly disrespectful and that's uncalled for. And I have the right to just cuss your ass out. Or if you know, like a part of me that I have a trigger, and you decide to weaponize that as a joke in front of all these people that I don't know and I'm not comfortable with, then I can understand that. But if we have like a little banter, I hate when people just be like, "Wait, you can't say that. That's it." That's what I got to say about that. Mind your business. Number one, we know each other, so we can have that banter with each other. and we know our comfortability level. But you can't say certain things if they're strangers. So I do agree. We need to allow people to just be funny and say the things without y'all getting all mad. And Felix also said, you remember not long ago, Beyonce was accused of, child, they say all kinds of stupid shit. Anytime somebody become famous, they practicing witchcraft, they're in the Illuminati, and the one y'all need to be worrying about that crazy ass Azealia Banks be sitting there cutting up chickens and shit in her damn house. And not to eat. But anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about Hennifer. There's a lot of Hennifer news that came out this week that we got to get to. We got to get to that one, and then we got to talk about Suge Knight and his theory on why he believes that Hennifer and Ben Affleck aren't, their relationship is a hot ass mess. But first things first. So I'm sure that y'all saw the headline photo that we have up on the page that of Ben Affleck with his new look. He got a new haircut. It looks like they call it a faux hawk, but I don't know. It looked like one of the military style crew cuts. Like a faux hawk is something like, a mohawk, but it's like shaped to look like a fake mohawk or whatever. It's hard to explain. It didn't look like no mohawk to me or a faux hawk. First of all, that haircut looked a mess. It looked like he should have went to somebody black to get it shaped up, because it just looked like they just kind of to the side did like a zero on the skin part, because I do like a skin fade, and then this was like didn't even shape it up, didn't even make it look good or whatever. Make it nice, in the words of Dorinda Medley. Make it nice, bitch. Apparently they didn't even do that. It looked a hot ass mess. So, but then we saw him, he's like riding around a motorcycle, he's wearing a leather jacket. People saying he's having a midlife crisis. I don't know if it's a midlife crisis. Maybe but then again, it might be, because you know what? As all this time that we were seeing Ben running around in these streets and all this other stuff, I've never really seen him riding around a motorcycle. It is recently that I have noticed that he has been riding a motorcycle. So they could be right that maybe it is a midlife crisis. I mean, he's at the perfect age. He's in his 50s. That he will be getting to a point. It's like, yeah, you're not a girl, not yet a woman. Like, you're not in between anymore. You're like a full-on man. You got 10 more years or less before you be able to apply for AARP. Now, Hannah was close to the applying for AARP. She just turned 55. So she got 6 more years. Or is it 5? No, 5 more years. So they said the Good Will Hunting actor, 51, who's been in the headlines alongside his 55-year-old wife, Hennifer, with the two being engulfed in divorce rumors after DailyMail.com exclusively revealed documents that had been finalized but not yet turned in. Now, in recent months, the once loved up couple, who previously dated from 2002 to 2004, have been pictured without their wedding rings and now look set to push ahead with their divorce after the final attempt at reconciliation failed. See, this is the funny thing. I didn't even notice. They dated from 2002 to 2004 and broke up. I think, what was it, like they were going to get engaged. I think they had the place all set up and everything. They were going to get married, and he calls it off. For whatever reason. I think it might be the same reason as before. The fact that, Jennifer is somebody who is, loves the paparazzi, the spotlight, all the stuff. He doesn't. So they dated for 2 years, 20-some years ago, 20 years ago, literally, because it was 2004 when they broke up. Then they got back together, and they got married, and it's been 2 years. So apparently y'all can't get past the terrible twos. That's what it looked like to me. So they said, as reports about the fate of their A-list reunion reach fever pitch, the couple has seemingly cut all ties to one another. Now, according to TMZ, the love don't cost a thing, because clearly it does. Songstress and the Gone Girl star have stopped talking altogether, making it even more difficult for the pair to reach an agreement. The outlet revealed that the Hollywood heavyweights have been making their separation harder by keeping tight-lipped, refusing to talk in person, even over the phone. TMZ reported that the celebrities are yet to enlist the help of lawyers and have instead gone through their respective business managers. However, they plan to hire divorce lawyers after they reach a settlement. Well, maybe y'all need to hire the divorce lawyer now so y'all can get a settlement in place. First of all, both of y'all, this ain't y'all first time at the rodeo. Y'all have both been married I believe Jennifer Garner is his first marriage. Hennifer has been married about 4 times, I believe. Collected more rings than Thanos. And Elizabeth, well, has she beat Elizabeth Taylor yet? No, Elizabeth Taylor was married 8 times, I believe. Child, you about to rival her and Erica Kane. The way you out here just hopscotching on men. And then I was hearing something or another that they haven't come to agreement yet because they're trying to get their kids to come to, I guess, terms with the fact that they've split. I'm like, I think they're not slow. Like, I think the kids are well aware and they have internet and cell phones and things of that nature, so they know that their relationship is on the rocks. You haven't really seen Ben and Hennifer hanging out around each other, so I'm sure they know something's amiss. And they've been hearing all the stories about Hennifer got a new place in New York. She sold another place that she had. She got a new place. Ben got a new place. He's no longer renting out the bachelor spot that he had before. He's got a new place that he's about to move into. It looked nice from what I've seen. And they have the $65 million mansion that they're trying to sell. So I'm sure they're well aware. And here's the thing. Neither one of y'all thought about the kids when y'all were lucky in love and continuously playing relationship hopscotch and not thinking about, the fact of the matter is y'all get together, you got to introduce the kids into the mix, and if the relationship no longer works, y'all got to part separate ways. When she was with A-Rod, A-Rod got a child or children, and the kids was attached to them at that point, and then she done removed him from her life and then ran on to Ben. And then now you got the kids in there again. So what is that teaching, in my opinion, about teenagers whose frontal lobes haven't developed yet? I think girls get it in like their early 20s, boys get it in their mid-20s, where their frontal lobe is fully developed and they become full-fledged adults, where they can have critical thinking, all the other stuff that goes into that. So y'all wasn't thinking about the fact that y'all kids, that if a relationship is cute or whatever in the beginning, and then y'all can't make it work because of ego, whatever the case is, and now you have to realize that the children who become close have to now dissipate because the parents can't get along and can't come to a conclusion. So let's not try to act like y'all sitting all of a sudden thinking about the children. Like, children, y'all can't sit up here and think about the kids when that y'all wasn't thinking about them to begin with. Y'all was out here thinking about your own ego and satisfying your own sexual appetites or whatever. So it said last week, a friend of the couple told DailyMo.com that they're still set to divorce. Well, we already know that's coming. There's no coming back from this relationship. The news came after Ben splashed out a whopping $20.5 million, say $20.5 damn million, on a new bachelor pad mansion in the Pacific Palisades on July 24th, the day his spouse celebrated her birthday. Now, that's the ultimate petty. And I remember somebody asked, "Oh, Leo's petty? Is the Pope Catholic?" Of course they are. Leos are very petty. I know. My father's a Leo. He low key petty in some of the shit he do. He be thinking I don't clock it, but I do. When you piss him over the ways that he ain't gonna say nothing, he'll pull like a little fast, sneaky ass move, and you gonna gag when you realize, did that motherfucker just play me? Shout out to my father though. And I got cousins. I got a lot of family members that are Leos. It's funny. It's like Capricorns, Leos, Virgos, all within the same cesspool of each other. Like it's a bunch of us. Like it's around that time that I know and that I'm related to and kind of play into my circle. So I'm like really close with a lot of Leos. I'm close with a lot of Capricorns, and I'm close with a lot of Virgos. No Geminis, because y'all way crazier than us. So yeah, so there's a lot of that going on. And then it said on July 24th, she's finalized the sale of her 4-bedroom New York City penthouse for $23 million, but but they said they got something new. I'm at this point, here's the thing, to wrap this up so we can move on to the Suge Knight thing. I am so emotionally exhausted from these two. I'm at this point, can y'all please just file the damn papers? Because y'all working my root canal nerve at this point. It's like, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Y'all doing too much. Y'all doing the most. I'm tired of every other day. Every time we do a show, we're always talking about, will they or won't they with the divorce? This divorce lasting longer, or these divorce proceedings last longer than a damn marriage. We don't need y'all in a situation like Bethany Frankel and Jason Hoppy, where they seemed like they was on doing this whole back and forth divorce thing for over a decade before she finally was able to cut ties with his ass. We don't need this situation. Just cut ties, go your separate ways, and figure out what the hell it is y'all need to do. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think it is? Are y'all just as exhausted as I am talking about Hennifer and Ben and all this other mess? Like, y'all really need to go y'all separate ways and move on. I'm tired of talking about y'all. But with all the tea that keep coming out, we got to keep talking. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Now, going from that story, let's go into the Suge Knight story, where Suge recently did his podcast via prison. How do you have a podcast behind bars? The shit that they be having people out here doing in regards of now they're allowing people to have cell phone, the ATL tag doing sex videos in prison. I seen that one the other day. You know, y'all know who ATL, look, if y'all know who ATL Tay is, Google Schmoogle. He was the OnlyFans creator, does a lot of adult cinematography, but now he doing stuff behind bars where he digging up in some of them inmates' guts and vice versa, making content. And I don't know how they allowing that, but I'm like, okay, make your coins. You better, if they not putting money on the books, you got to get your coins some way, right? So Suge Knight apparently is, I don't know if he's getting paid for this podcast, but apparently he's able to do a podcast. I've been wanting to say Beyond the Grave so damn bad, but he not dead. He in purgatory. I guess we can call prison purgatory. So he basically is out here having a wild theory. He believes that the reason why Hanifa and Ben are having their little divorce situation is because he said he believes the FBI gave the Daredevil actor Ben Affleck footage of the Jenny from the Block singer engaging in illicit activity that they recovered from raiding Diddy's homes a few months ago. He gave the full breakdown of his theory on his most recent episode of his, I can't with the title, Collect Calls with Suge Knight podcast. I can't. But y'all be doing the most with these things. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to play that clip because y'all got to hear what this man had to say in the clink. Please hold as we play this clip.
They go raid Puffy's house. And they get all these videos of J-Lo doing this and J-Lo doing that. And they know the fact that J-Lo lied and said that the gun was Sean or whatever and sent that man to prison and destroyed his life, and she knew it was Puffy. I'm quite sure they probably called and the FBI gave respect. A courtesy call of Ben Affleck. It's a white man who got respect in the white world. I'm quite sure they said, we want to show you some things. It's about your wife. When he see this that her and Puffy was doing and who they were doing it with, I'm quite sure they gave his ass those tapes. And I'm quite sure he can never look at her the same. I'm quite sure they heading for divorce. Because, you know, that's a man who had a good life. Great parents, don't spend a lot of money, ain't tripping out paparazzi. He's living his life. He got his own team. She done brought all the extra that motherfucker. He won't out. He stayed married to J-Lo, he'd be broke. Instead of just doing movies, he'd be doing Yum Yum Donuts commercials. Next thing he'd be doing is Jack in the Box commercials. And they go raid Puffy's house. And they get all these videos of J-Lo doing this and J-Lo doing that.
Okay, so y'all pretty much got the gist of the whole situation. And I'm like, there was always rumors, and I feel like it resurfaced even around the whole Diddy stuff. And then they were talking about the woman that got shot in the face. Oh, sorry, pop out in the face, because, you know, there's certain words you can say on the stream. Forgot about that. You know, sometimes I'll be forgetting I'm on YouTube. The woman that she got pop out in the face, and she has said over the years, and her story ain't changed, that the diddler was the one that had something to do with it. But y'all went in through that on Shine. And the fact that Hanifa was up in there, they said that she was the one that smuggled the gun in, and they didn't search her because, you know, she was Hanifa Lopez and she was all glammed up, and they didn't think that she would have had that gun or whatever the situation was. And Shine even told his story that he was able to slide a gun up in the club. So the thing is that the club should have been reprimanded for some of the shenanigans they was allowing the stuff up in there as well. But this has always been the rumor in regards of that Hanifa may have had something to do with helping Diddy smuggle in a gun, and she was trying to get that gangster points. She was trying to be all about that life because she wanted that edge as artist by hooking up with Puffy. And we all knew Puffy was a hot ass mess and was bad news from the beginning. And that's what he gave. And now it was like when this whole thing about Diddy and the whole thing with Cassie and all that other stuff came up, those rumors started to reemerge. And so with Suge Knight saying this, it's kind of got us wondering that if there might be some tea there, but I don't know. And then there was stories that I remember hearing came out months ago that Ben was kind of giving some footage and some information and all this other stuff in regards of that, and they were trying to call her in for questioning and all this other stuff. I don't know what transpired from that. I don't know how true that is, but that was the rumor and it's alleged, so we're gonna go with that. And that may have put a strain in the relationship because I guess Ben thought that he probably got with, I ain't get with one of those. I ain't get with a hood booger. I ain't get with that one of those hood rat, because you know some of you Latinos and Latinas be trying to not act like y'all bougie ratchet. I mean y'all bougetto ratchet, whatever the case is, or from the hood, or y'all from the hood but you from the suburbs part of the hood, and you don't incorporate in those things. I'm not like them N-words over there. You know, some of y'all try to separate and assimilate into the white situation. I don't know if Hennifer tried to do that part. Quite as good. I've heard some tea that she kind of does try to play in those spaces, but then when you needed to cross over into that whole thing, we're trying to be, you know, Ashanti, even stealing her vocals, you know, as we've talked about many times on this show, by getting a little edge, working with Murder Inc., that sort of thing, because you didn't want to be just that boring pop, squeaky clean pop girl. You want a little, you know, you want to throw a little sazon on the rice. So throw a little sofrito up in there. And she needed that tea, and she got it. And so things got a little too far with the pow that went down at the club. Somebody was shot. A woman who has always told the story that it was Diddy, and now you got Suge Knight out here saying stuff. But I did find it funny though when I was reading comments. Somebody said, "How this dude got a podcast in prison?" That's what I said. They said this dude knows a lot. Being a child, he knew a lot before he was in jail. Where y'all been? Suge Knight always been out here talking. Wait? Who was it that was the one that gave Wendy Williams a sex tape with R. Kelly? Was it Suge Knight? When she got in the limo and she was driving around New York and she watched the video of him peeing on that girl. I believe it was Suge Knight always been out here talking, even back in the day when Wendy Williams was getting them exclusives. So I don't know where the hell y'all been. They said the FBI handed over evidence to Ben Affleck. Okay, got it. But yeah, I don't know if I believe that. I don't believe the FBI is out here giving evidence to other celebrities. First of all, any kind of FBI investigation goes through the FBI. They're not going and randomly sending stuff to a celebrity for them to just be given whatever it needs to be given. But then again, how the hell CNN get that video of Diddy doing what he did to Cassie? So on one hand, y'all be like, well, how did they get that evidence? But then how the hell CNN get the tea? How they get that video footage of Diddy and then get to the media? So a lot of times when it comes to the government and all this other stuff, y'all can't think things out here just so black and white that everybody does their job. There be some people out here that be leaking things for a little price. Trust and believe. There be people out here doing all kinds of criminal shit when they need to. So I'm not buying it. So I won't say I'm not buying it. I wouldn't put nothing past nobody that works as government officials. Just like the person that got paid that money, that big bucks, to get rid of that video footage of Diddy doing what he did to Cassie. But his stupid ass kept it in the vault. And look what happened. Got caught out there, as he should have been. But anyway, I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this tea? Are y'all buying what Suge Knight is out here selling? Quite as kept, I do live for the grist for the mill that he be out here spilling for his little podcast. And how is that even possible? Like, what are y'all doing up in jail? Are these people getting rehabilitated, or y'all just like collecting ninjas for the sake of, you know, the tax situations or whatever? Because it's like, how the hell, like we were talking about earlier in the show, ATL Tay out here doing videos in prison, same-sex male punching videos in prison, and then you got Suge Knight with a whole podcast. What are y'all doing up in there? Where they do that at? So let me know in the comments down below. Cool. Sailor Mermaid in the building. And so Felix said, I think it's really hurt delaying the process. I need him to stop delaying the damn process. I need y'all to just cancel me. Like, let's get this done and over with. I'm over it. Time to talk about Hannaford. But then again, where else could I get to say Hannaford? But when I talk about her in that show, because we changed like Hannaford. We changed her name. But anyway, let's move on from that foolishness. And let's talk about my husband, Zac Efron. My boo was in the hospital and he ain't called me. Okay, let me be serious for a second. Hold on, let's put up this picture. I know y'all be throwing shade at him over that chin, but here's the thing. I still hit it. I don't care. Like, I don't care what he look like now. Zac Efron can still get the business. So, according to reports, Zac Efron was reportedly taken to a hospital in Ibiza, Spain, after suffering an incident at a swimming pool at a villa in, as I said, Ibiza on Friday night. Now, a rep for Efron tells TMZ that Zac was taken to the hospital as a precautionary measure after what they describe as a minor swimming incident at a villa in Ibiza on Friday night. They were told that he was released from the hospital this morning. I think it was like 2 days ago or whatever when I talked about what day. Let me see what was the date. Okay, I did this on I think it was 2 days ago when the story was first reported. He was released from the hospital. The next morning, he's recovering just fine. Now, it says Efron's been traipsing around Europe for a while, with photogs snapping him in Ibiza, Saint-Tropez, Mykonos, and Paris over the last month. He also hit the stage with Martin Garrix earlier this week, looking full of life with famed DJ. So, yeah, he's been out here partying. He's been living his best life. Look, he's been doing a lot of movies. Like, he did the Iron Claw movie. I think he has Mickey to Nicky, whatever the hell the name of that movie is. Isn't John Cena in that? He's doing that. He's got a couple of movies that he's about to start filming. I think principal photography is expected to begin soon on a 3 Men and a Baby reboot. I didn't even know they were making a remake. Ricky's to Nicky is the name of the film. So yeah, John Cena was in that. And he did the Iron Claw movie with Jeremy Allen White. So Zac out here living his best life. When you act, you make a good enough amount of money that you could take trips and do whatever. And they said that he dove into the pool. Dive into the pool. Remember that song, that dance track from Come On, Let's Get Soaking Wet. From Queer as Folk. The American version. So he dove into the pool. They said he hit something, or they say he took in a lot of water. I'm like, what is wrong with him? First, when you trip on a pair of damn socks, mess up your chin, bust it open, and then you had to go get, I don't know what the hell they did, implant, steroid, whatever the case was. Now his face looked crazy. And I don't care how he looked. I still hit it, because Zac Efron can get it. He's still fine. He don't look Mickey Rourke crazy, but I still hit it. Whatever. I know some of y'all be like, Chris, what the hell's wrong with you? Look, Zac Efron can still get it. I don't care what none of y'all say. So the rep was kind of out here saying it was a precautionary measure. They didn't say what it was, what caused it to be in distress. He dove into the pool. He took in water. I'm like, you don't know how to, first of all, he was in the damn Baywatch movie. You don't know how to swim? You don't know how to dive into a pool properly without taking in water. He trips over, slips on a sock and busts his chin open. Then he goes and don't know how to dive into a pool. No shade. And you know what? I'm going to say it. Allegedly. But I believe drugs was involved. You can't tell me you out in Mykonos and all these other places living your best life and you ain't putting no drugs up in your system. Because let me tell you, I sure as hell would. I be drinking. I be doing the booger sugar, the real pure shit. Not that stuff y'all be putting that, what is it? I was going to say, y'all going to put Ozempic up in it. Y'all know, the Fenty, y'all not going to put that Rihanna Fenty up in there in the booger sugar. It's like I be doing all the drugs. In moderation, of course, because I'm living my best life. If I'm out partying and dipping it and doing it, you don't think I'm gonna be out living my best life? And you cannot tell me that Zac was sober the whole damn time. I'm gonna be out there hunching. I'm gonna be out there doing all the drugs and living my best life. You ain't gonna see me being no damn prude. So I should say that Zac did release a vague statement. He took to his Instagram and he posted this photo. Looking on Find Myself, I'm like, damn, even his feet got muscles in it. All them veins up in them feet. So he's up in there, on a medicine ball, lifting weights, trying to keep that body, give me body, yada, 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 keeping that body nice and tight, as he should. Because, no, I'm not going to do that. I was about to say something, but y'all already know the tea. I told y'all about Zac at the club that a friend of mine seen with his own eyes. If y'all don't know, you better ask somebody. But do I think Zac will ever come out of the closet? I don't know. But I'm like, what's the point? You don't need to hide who you are, sir. That you like the boys and the booze. But here's the thing. Like I said, I do believe that there had to be some drugs and stuff involved. I don't know why he wants something, his people want to be vague or whatever the case is. But if that's what y'all want to do, that's what you could do. But we're going to speculate over here. So I say all to say, what do y'all think of this, T? Do y'all think that there's a lot more going on than what has been reported? Like they said that people that worked at the villa found him and then they had to rush him to the hospital. Because I feel like if there was nothing drastic or crazy going on, then you wouldn't have to take nobody to a hospital as a precautionary tale. But if Zac old enough to do what he do and be out here partying, living his best life, he in his 30s, but just everything in moderation. We don't need you ended up like Matthew Perry before you hit your 40th birthday, sir. So let me know. No, calm down a little bit. Let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. He said, no one tell Austin Wolf someone is hunching on OnlyFans. Okay. Oh, I was like, why would they need to tell Austin? Child, I forgot he in jail. Okay. So that's why I said, look, ATL over there in Atlanta. Well, I don't know what prison he in, but he over there, punching behind bars. And if Austin Wolf could find out that he could do the same thing, but you can't be doing that little move with the trying to pass somebody out. I didn't even pull up that damn video of that boy that went on the Wild podcast. One of these days, I'm going to do that. I think, I'm going to save that for when we bring up the Austin Wolf thing. I'm going to play that clip. Shout out to the boys over there that be doing the Wild podcast. They had this adult cinematography performer on there, and he was talking about he did a video with Austin. I think he said that was his first video that he did with him. And he said that Austin told him about that little legendary move that he does where he be strikes, where he choked the dudes until they pass out and then he knows how to bring them back, which I think is dangerous because if you kill one of these kids out here, then your ass really going to be behind bars. And he said he don't know if the move was done on him. And he was about to get the video that they had just filmed together until Austin Wolf got arrested for, the stuff that he did. Oh, you said it happened Friday. I saw a video Perez Hilton posted. Oh, you talking about Friday when he went and passed out. Oh, yeah, I did see that one. He did a movie with Nicole Kidman. We talked about it on the show, and everybody was talking about his face looked crazy. And that's what, we did a whole topic on Zac Efron and how everybody was throwing, they was reading him over his looks in the comments. I don't care. I still smash Zac. I actually met Pepper Mache, the lady who did the vocal on that song. Okay, I like Pepper Mache. I think she follows me on social media. Her, Crystal Waters, Ultra Nate. I live for the divas, the 90s divas. But anyway, now speaking of people that need to watch what they be out here doing in regards to the craziness and things and taking a life for granted, let's talk about Angelina Jolie's and Brad Pitt's son, Pax Jolie Pitt, who apparently has been released, yesterday, because I was ready to come in with the regular story, but yesterday he has been released from the ICU. I don't know if he's still in the hospital, if he's like out of the ICU in a regular room, but apparently, this boy out here being reckless. So Pax remains, it said the Mr. and Mrs. Smith actress, Angelina Jolie, is reportedly seeking assistance for her troubled son, Pax, as he remains hospitalized following a severe accident involving his electric bike. The incident took place during rush hour in the Los Feliz area of LA on Monday, July 29th. Radar Online can reveal that Pax was 20, collided with a car. They said the car was at a red light, and he basically he crashed into a parked car. Well, it wasn't parked, it was just at a light. But they said he was riding, he collided with the car while riding his bike and sustained serious injuries. Reportedly, he was not wearing a helmet at the time of the incident. Now, Pax was born in Vietnam, was adopted by Angelina at the age of 3, becoming part of her family alongside siblings Maddox, Zahara, Shiloh, and twins Knox and Vivian. The Oscar winner has also been at her son's side in the hospital since the accident occurred. Now, sources indicate that this is not Pax's first involvement in vehicle-related incidents, which has raised concerns amongst his family and his well-being. An insider told outlets the following. They said his friends are concerned about him. He's being reckless. They're worried. He has had a string of car crashes. It's not great. Pax is a troubled kid, and Angelina is doing her best to help him. The Jolie Pitt family has faced previous challenges with older siblings Maddox and Zahara, also adopted by Brad Pitt in 2005, reportedly estranged from their father following an alleged incident aboard a private airplane in 2016. Although investigations did not lead to charges, the family dynamics remain strained. Now, Angie and Brad, who are legally divorced, I should say, are currently entangled in disputes over the sale of their Miraval vineyard in France. And we did talk about this on the show. There's a lot of entanglements going on with their vineyard and trying to split that whole situation. Now, they said on Thursday, August 1st, the Eternals actress accused her ex of trying to have her sign an $8.5 million non-disclosure agreement related to her allegations of abuse. Jolie's attorney said that Jolie was not acting with malice and the intent to hurt Pitt in response to any custody ruling when she sold her share of Miraval in 2021. The court document read, instead, it was Pitt who refused to buy her interest unless he received his newly expanded NDA, enforceable by an $8.5 million holdback specifically designed to force her silence about his abuse and cover-up. While Pitt advances what is effectively an outdated privacy of domestic violence argument to shield his abuse, his argument is not the law, at least not in this century, and he cites no authority that would give him much unwarranted protections. They said in any event, he waived any privacy protections when he sued Jolie. So there's a lot of stuff going on with that. I don't know what's going on with the, I really feel like when it comes down to this situation, that I feel like Pax is probably acting out. I don't know if he was a troubled kid because him coming from Vietnam and whatever stuff that was going on from his childhood in that country, and that over there at Vietnam, and then being brought to America and that whole culture shock and how he's evolved living in America, being a privileged kid now because he had 2 famous parents, and maybe the fact that he doesn't have a father figure in his life like Brad, that he could be acting out and being reckless and riding around LA with they crazy asses the way they be driving in that traffic with no damn helmet. Back in the day, I used to look at people like, when we was kids, we never wore helmets and things. We rode our bikes, scooters, whatever the case, but we all raw dogged it. And we got a concussion. We just we brushed it off and kept it moving. So we were built different back in the day growing up. I feel like now times have changed, and I feel like people have gotten more dangerous. Crazy things have happened. New type of technology, vehicles, things have advanced. So, and maybe he's not really good at riding those damn e-bikes or whatever. Maybe you need to get like a regular bike or a scooter, motorcycle, whatever it is that you out here riding. But if you're not good with riding e-bikes, maybe you need to get a regular damn bike if you don't know how to control the damn thing, or you just out here being a damn daredevil. So we have a picture of him on the bike, and it's like, yeah, you out here, look how you like riding a side saddle and just scooting around being, like you Evel Knievel. And it's like, boy, you are not untouchable. But like I said, boys' brains don't start developing fully, their frontal lobe, until they're like, I think 24, 25. So you're not really out here thinking that you could possibly be affected by anything. So yeah, we did mention, like I said, yesterday I updated the article, and basically Pax has been released from the ICU. The 20-year-old will have a long road to recovery and suffered complex trauma, a source told People on his condition. They say he's been released from the ICU. He suffered complex trauma and now okay, why does it say that twice? The insider added that Pax and Angelina, who's 49, are deeply grateful for the quick and life-saving action of first responders and the outstanding medical care he received. The Oscar winner remains by her son's side, as well as his other siblings, with the source noting that they have been visiting and helping, and they are all very close. As for Pac's estranged father Brad, a rep for the 60-year-old actor declined to comment when asked by DailyMail.com if he planned to visit his son in the hospital. Now, I don't know. Like I said, it could be. I do wonder that with all this drama going on with the estrangement of his parents and the fact that they can't come to a mutual agreement about a lot of business endeavors and they can't stand each other. But you know what? How you get them is how you lose them. Because Brad, you did until you do right by my girl Jennifer Aniston. This is why you getting the shit that you getting towards you. And Angelina messy, allegedly, from all the things that she's done in the past. So it was like, this is y'all karma. And I don't want to say karma in regards of Pax. Like, Pax is a little kid. He's 20. He's still got the amount of, he's still technically not an adult. You're not an adult till you're 21. I don't care what the law says in regard, oh, you 17 or 18, you were, no, 21. That's the number I go by and that's the number I stick by. But to me, it just seemed like this is a young kid who's lashing out, and is upset with a lot of the stuff that's just been going on in his personal life. And I think a lot of times adults don't really realize that a lot of what y'all could be dealing with behind the scenes in regards of like couples and stuff, how that affects the children, which is why Ben and Hennifer, y'all need to really look at y'all kids and take into consideration that the way y'all out here behaving in these streets with y'all bitterness and not getting along and stuff, how this will affect the children, because you don't think that a lot of times the things you do affects kids and they pick up on a lot of those behaviors and it's generational trauma passed down. That is something that I feel like y'all need to look at. And not only do I feel like Pax probably gonna have a lifetime of physical therapy that he's got to do, because I'm sure he's gonna have to undergo physical therapy. He needs regular therapy on his mental as well, because I'm sure that he's got a lot of stuff that he's dealing with and probably hasn't dealt with that verbally, like putting it out there and saying what is troubling him and why is he doing these things that he's doing, why is he living on the edge and pushing it to the limit. Why are you doing that? So I said all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Let me know what you all think of this tea in the comments down below. So Onyx says, what do you think about criticism parents go adopted children when they adopt outside their race and the kid is around their own kind? He's Asian and not around Asian. Here's the thing. There's a lot of Asian people that live in LA, so he probably does have a lot of Asian friends. I guess maybe never really paid attention. But I do say this: if you're gonna adopt children that are not, if you're white and you're going to adopt black kids, if you're going to adopt Asian kids, if you're going to adopt all types of stuff, you do need to interlink them with their culture. You need to teach them about their culture. Like, I hope that she's been introducing Zahara to black stuff. I do, in her culture, because I believe she's from Africa. I don't know. I know Madonna got her kids from Malawi. So, but Madonna is someone who has very much been about being inspired by different cultures and stuff. So you know that David, Mercy, and Esther, and what's the name? What's the other child? Because she got 4 black children. Yeah, but we know Esther because Esther has been in the celebration tour and stuff. But I think all the kids was up in there. So look, she had all the 4 kids, all of them, pretty much. I'm sure that she's taught them about their culture and their family and all that other stuff. So, and then of course we have Sandra Bullock is another one who adopted black children. I believe Louis, her son, I don't know where she got him from, but she has a black child as well. So if you're going to adopt from other countries, I do feel that it should implore you to introduce them to their cultures and let them learn. Don't be up in here trying to act like, the elephant in the room ain't the elephant in the room. And it's like, wait, I'm black. We don't need no Christian Walker type shit when it comes to the kids. We don't need no fucked up black kids like what Kunda's own child gonna end up being when that child get of age. So I'm all for adopting children that aren't necessarily the race of that you are, but if you are going to adopt children, make sure that you know people that know how to do a black child's hair, that they know the cultures, whatever the case is. And the same thing with Asian kids, whatever. Have them hang out with people that, that is of their race, and get them books so they can learn about their culture and all this other stuff. Read books to them, their kids, so that way they know where they come from, they know their background and stuff. I don't understand people that sit up here and adopt kids and trying to act like, oh, well, we don't see color. Well, bitch, you better see some damn color, because if you don't see it, somebody else will. So, especially when they walk outside your door. So you can put them in a little bubble or whatever the case, the Teresa Giudice love bubble or whatever that you want, and act like you can be Delulu and not see what's going on over there. But when they step out in the real world, you know there will be some ignorant person that will remind your child, and you need to prepare them for what's to come. You said Madonna has been called a baby napper. Child. If she went through the channels and stuff to get the kid and they was okay with it, and I don't know what she did to get them kids, but if she went through the channels to do what she needed to be done, then we can't criticize it. I don't know what the adoption situation, people just be saying all kinds of stupid shit just so they can have a moment. She helped those kids and she encourages them to follow their passions, and she takes them back there alive. And I have seen that. We have seen that David and all the kids have gone, he's gone to Malawi. Didn't he even visit his biological father at one point? It was like, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to go to, see your family and all this stuff. So it's not like I'm keeping you from the people. You get to actually, visit your family and cousins and all other stuff. I hope that's what it would be. Now, speaking of love bubbles, child, let's get into this Real Housewives of New Jersey tea. Where the finale happened. We're gonna get the watch party this coming Sunday. And they said that, what they're calling a non-traditional reunion, where they said that it's going to be 2 parts. And then after that, what's going to happen is they're going to go on a hiatus, and we're not going to see the Real Housewives of New Jersey possibly until 2025 when they start filming the next season. So they said there are not going to be any decisions about what will or won't happen with the show until early next year. This is what a source told the Daily Mail. Filming will likely not resume until 2025. They said there is not going to be any more filming of Real Housewives of New Jersey for the remainder of the year. There's nothing planned. It's on ice. The current cast, which includes Teresa Giudice, who's on vacation, by the way. I believe she was in Mykonos, Greece, and I think she's in Spain, Puerto Rico. She's in one of those places. Because, her and Louis, and I'm showing her dime, because the word on the street is Louis out here doing white collar criminal things. That's the rumor out on the street. So the fans, y'all need to fan out and start digging, because stuff is coming out about him. And I know she out here windmilling, trying to deflect, and they're saying that she losing a lot of weight, and they're trying to say it's because she's on the Ozempic, but it could be stress. And then, child, I saw the recent pictures. Daily Mail, y'all was shady. They posted pictures of her without all the touch-ups she's been doing on her photos. She needs to just hire a professional, just like you was out here hiring PIs and stuff to dig up dirt on your co-stars. And that tea came out about Jen Aiden, where she was out here trying to look up tea on Danielle Cabral and why she doesn't get along with her brother and those other stuff. I seen them leaked texts that's been popping up. So they've been all talking to bloggers and doing all kinds of shady stuff. She just got caught and been out here saying they all do it. But yeah, we haven't heard people do it. I haven't heard Melissa out here allegedly talking to bloggers and stuff. Like, she at one point would go on her podcast and talk about things, which at some point, Bravo was like, okay, y'all need to stop talking on these podcasts. Y'all need to stop spilling show tea, which I'm like, I don't find nothing wrong with it. If I was on a reality show and I had my own platform where I could tell my side of the story and be like, okay, now in this episode, we do watch parties. This is what happened. This was the part. They didn't show this in the show. This was edited out. This is what I said. And why can't we have that on the show? Because the fans would want to tune in and just be able to do it. Just like Candy had Speak on it. She would tell like what was going on with the show in that context. So as I was saying before, the cast includes, because I went on this whole thing about Teresa, and I only got to her. Teresa, Jen Aiden, Dolores Catania, Melissa Gorga, Margaret Josephs, Danielle Cabral, and Rachel Fuda, as well as friends Jackie Goldschneider and Jen Fessler, is extremely divided and has been accused of instigating toxicity on social media. And that's what it was coming down to. So it was the toxicity on social media. It was a show within a show. They were having people spilling tea to certain bloggers. You had Melissa O'Knows that was on David Yontef podcast, spilling all kinds of tea, saying that the shenanigans Teresa and them been doing behind the scenes with leaking information to the show, giving people copies of the screener that they could watch so that way they'd be privy to things that was going on the show that they could talk about. Like, how are we watching a show and they already knew that Danielle smacked Jen with a cup? How they know about that? Somebody was out here spilling tea, apparently, leaking things to the blogs. And so now they already got stories before the episode even aired, because we already heard about it while they was filming. I talked about it on this show. They even said viewership also hit a new series low this season, which was filmed between August and October of 2023. Now, while Andy Cohen recently said viewers will see all fresh faces on the show upon its eventual return, Daily Mail Insider said the cast for the new season is not going to be decided anytime soon. Casting is not something Bravo is rushing into. It's not even going to start to take form until next year. However, a source noted there are some cast members that are less likely to come back than others based on certain events that have unfolded this past season, but for 2 or 3 cast members, it could be over for good. Now, in regards to that, because I remember I saw a video where Countess Luann basically was asked by TMZ what does she think they should do? Because remember, she was a part of the RHONJ cast. That would be Real Housewives of New York. If you don't know RHONJ, sometimes we got to explain things. And they decided not to bring the OG girls back. They gave them the Ultimate Girls Trip thing, and then they decided to reboot New York, which, in my opinion, was a bad idea. I watched a couple of episodes of RHONJ, the reboot. It was boring. I didn't like what they were doing. They still going along with the reboot. Season 2, adding new people. No, what y'all need to do is bring some of the OG girls and mix it in. And I feel like and she said that's what they should do. For New Jersey, not gut it completely, keep some of the girls, but get rid of some. And no shade, I feel like it's time. Jen Aiden got to go. I think, quiet as it's kept, she is leaving. I don't think she's coming back for another season. Teresa also needs to go, because Teresa sits up in here and thinks that she is the queen of Bravo. She is the queen of the Housewives. But then again, like I said, they created that monster. The minute y'all was out, we're going to pause the show until she gets out of jail, because I wanted that moment of getting her coming out of the jail. Like, remember when Whitney went to go meet Bobby at the jail? She done jumped up in his arms and wrapped her legs around him like she was missing that good. You a good man, Savannah. He a good man. Speaking of which, she plays Savannah in Waiting to Exhale. So might as well use that analogy. And but I think Teresa got to go, because Teresa's taking it too far. The things that she's doing behind the scenes, her lawyer getting involved, and I live for the finale where Margaret checkmated her ass with them damn flowers. Checkmated her and the attorney, because they doing sinister shit behind the scenes. And when y'all start doing this little shady mess, where y'all trying to create narratives in the show within the show and trying to come up with ways to try to get at people, because you didn't like the fact that Margaret has put attention on Louis, because allegedly he's doing some sinister stuff in how he does his business, allegedly. And then y'all hiring private investigators to dig up stuff on any of the cast members that go against what you're doing. And because you hate Margaret so much and you hate your sister-in-law, you ain't never liked the sister-in-law, because she ain't never wanted Joe Gorga to be happy. She wants to be the one that has the show. She wants to be the only one in a relationship. She wants to be the only one that has everything, the white picket fence, all this other stuff, but doesn't want anybody else to have anything. She's vindictive in that way. And we've seen that play out for over the years we watched the show. But we've never seen any of the other people that have done that. I'm sure Margaret has spoken to blogs, but she ain't get caught, as far as I can think of. I don't understand how Jackie Goldschneider and her also thick as thieves, when Teresa said some real vile stuff against her. But I guess because Jackie needs to film with somebody, she wants to be on the show, she needs a check, so they all gonna conspire with each other. They all gonna pretend like they the best of friends. But I see through the mess. And then and this was the cackle for me. I don't know how nobody picked this up. So you needed to follow Jackie because y'all besties all of a sudden. You decided to follow her on camera, on Instagram. Oh, I'm gonna like her page again. I'm gonna like some of her pictures. Oh no, not that one. How nobody don't catch the little things? Y'all get so caught up in the other stuff. Y'all don't be catching the little petty shit. I catch everything. And then Jen doing her messiness. And then I'm hearing the word, allegedly, Teresa was the one, and they tried to throw it off on Margaret because they tried to do everything, throw it on her. Teresa was the one that revealed that Dolores, Black Dolores as Wendy Williams would call her tea about her cheating on the doctor came from Teresa and the lawyer. So how you friends with her? How you protecting her? I forget the person in the comments that they said that maybe Teresa, I mean, not Teresa, that I guess somebody that Teresa and Louis and them is associated with, that's who Dolores and them got to worry about. But like I said, if Melissa Gorga, and I'm not necessarily team anybody, I'm just looking as an outsider looking in, watching all this mess unfold. And clearly the fans are pissed off and irritated and over it. But you got your people that are the tree huggers. They're going to believe what y'all going to believe regardless. I had somebody come for me on Twitter telling me I'm another blog that's a Teresa hater. Bitch, you don't know me enough to call me a hater of anybody. I don't hate nobody. Hate your mama. That's what you need to hate. Hate yourself. I don't hate people. I call things as I fucking see it. On my show that I can do because I have a blog and I have a show that I put together. Focus on your own shit. How about that? So people gonna sit up here and talk about I'm a Teresa hater. I'm not a Teresa hater. You could like who you like. You could dislike who you dislike. I'm talking about what I'm seeing unfold on this show and all the other things I'm hearing outside of the show. Paying attention. I have one friend, Albie. Shout out to him that be doing posts on his Twitter going in on the whole Housewives thing. And he gets a lot of comments and followers and views and all this other stuff from his show. I mean, from his stuff on reporting over the show. But I feel like at this point, yes, it is time to revamp this thing. I said, you know what? Since it don't seem like to me, based off of production, the way they edit the show and put the show together, that Melissa is the problem. How is it that Melissa got more people filming with her than Teresa does? I just feel like, honestly, there's a lot of them on here that y'all, it's sick to me. Like, if y'all don't like each other, I'm not filming with you. I'm not doing a show with you. I don't care how much money is being thrown. But then again, I guess when you like the fame, you like the attention, you like being on camera, you get a good check being on a show, you're going to tolerate being cool with each other, knowing full on well the ultimate betrayal that people have conducted against you being on this show. Make it make sense. I can't sit up in there and pretend I'm your bestie and you doing shady shit behind the scene. And I did find it funny that even Jen is well aware that her relationship with Teresa is one side. I wish you would have had my back in that situation with you want me to not speak and be friends with people that you don't get along with. But then when I wanted you to not be friends, when I wanted the same respect, when it came to Danielle, because she assaulted me, but you pushed her first, you got on her face and you pushed her. Now, if you push me, bitch, you are getting smacked. I don't give a fuck who it is. I know that you're not supposed to put hands on people when you do these shows, but when you push me physically, you can say whatever the hell you want to say. The minute you touch me, bitch, it's over. I'm blacking out. I'm turning into Drita Devanzo. And you getting mollywopped. No shade. It's just the way it is. And you getting fucked up. So Jen gonna act like she shot. She hit me. She put a hand on. And that you shouldn't have pushed me. Knuck if you buck is what I say. So Teresa didn't reciprocate. She said, oh, I'm friends with the both of them. But that I'm like, we've seen this happen with the other girls. When they do it to you, they're friends with the both of them. So, but they got to show their loyalty to you, but you're not doing the same, which goes to show the type of character she is. Her friendships are one-sided. You're with her or you're not. You can't be friends with them if I'm not friends with them. That's pettiness. That's childish. Girl, you're too old for that. You're in your 50s acting like you're 12 with the immaturity. And that's why I don't particularly care for Teresa, because she's so damn immature. But like I said, with the other girls of the show, we haven't really seen that. And then Jen just being her minion, just doing whatever. We're just going to hurt you in the end of doing the show. And I feel like if they do keep Dolores, because I feel like Dolores is only being friends with Teresa out of loyalty because she want to keep a check. But if they do keep Dolores, you're gonna be like, you can be like, deuces, like you don't need Teresa no more. Now you can be finally your authentic self and cut ties with her. Because I feel like you only on the show because she has that pull. But I feel like at this point, Andy mad. Like it's beyond friendship and stuff with him. And this is why I said his problem is he too damn friendly with them damn women over there. And when you be too friendly with them people, instead of remembering those are your coworkers and you're their boss, they're your employees, you should not be cool with them in a way where they got your number. Y'all could be kikiing and text and all that other stuff. And then you sit there like y'all besties. No, we're business this is a business. That's why as much shade as y'all be throwing RuPaul, I love the fact that he keep y'all, them queens, at a distance. Yeah, he is drag mother number one, but when it comes to a show, we're filming. Like whatever, like I believe what Pearl said. It ain't fact if it ain't on camera. It don't mean nothing if it's on camera. If you feel like that's a cold way of doing it, no, that's a way of me protecting myself. Because I'm not getting close enough to y'all that y'all thinking that you're gonna get favored. That there's favoritism. And he gives that with a lot of those girls. And I feel like to wrap this up, because when it comes to talking about Jersey, all that stuff, all the things that happen so the season comes out. And I be having like a million thoughts and my brain just be going 5,000 miles a minute. So to judge all this up and whatever, I feel like he's got to make an example out of Teresa and Jen. And Teresa out here doing whatever the case is. If he does not chop them for the way they've been doing this show and creating narratives and fake storylines and digging up, information on people to try to checkmate them, but then Teresa's so damn slow, or as Wendy Williams would say, less than smart, that she got checkmate by Margaret. I said Margaret is the MVP of RHONJ. Don't mess with her, because she'll come back with the ultimate slam dunk. But if it comes down to it, if he does not discipline them for the way they've done these shows, first of all, you should have took a damn pause after last season, because I feel like this season is an extension of last season. It feel like nothing got resolved. Yeah, y'all had people filming separately, but it feel like we regurgitated the same drama that we've seen for the past couple of seasons. So it comes to a point where it's time to sashay some of these girls away. And what needs to happen is he's got to make an example, because if he don't make an example, then people are going to be side-eyeing him and be like, oh, so it's okay for them to do what they be doing on this show. But y'all didn't hesitate to fire Kenya. Not saying that what she did was right, but y'all didn't hesitate to fire Kenya over at Atlanta for the RP of one of the cast members, Britney Ely or Edie, whatever what her last name is. So if y'all gonna be doing that, letting these white women get away with stuff, they're gonna pull the race card and say, oh, but you let these white girls, y'all be up in here doing scenes out of Mob Wives and baddies. But when it comes to us, y'all want to set different limits of what is okay and what's not okay, but y'all let them get away with it over there. Don't get me wrong. Jen Aiden deserved that smackation because she put hands on her. But if y'all allow all this shenanigans to happen with these white ladies over in Jersey, but then y'all going heavily discipline the black girls when they do just the bare minimum or the litters of things, like RP on a show is just as bad than the physical, and then digging up dirt on people and using bloggers to do your dirty work and all that other stuff. If y'all don't set this discipline, then we're going to be looking at Bravo with the side eye in regards to, oh, y'all letting these ladies over there get away with murder, but then y'all want to come for Kenya and all these other ones for the littlest of things. You need to bring Nene back. Because that's what we'll say at this point. Bring Nene back. But I guess because she accused the white people of racism, they don't like that. But you letting these women up in here put paws on each other like I'm watching an episode of Mob Wives. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this, T? Is it like, have y'all grown irritated by all the drama and the shenanigans and the cuckoo craziness that was going on with Jersey? It's time for them to rejudge the show and give us a new song to put on, because we're tired of the same old damn track over and over and over and over. It's like a greatest hits of the same old mess. We need to move on from that. And do you agree with Luann, the Countess, who said that it is time for them, like, don't chop the girls completely, just bring in some new girls and add on? Because I have to say, Jen Fessler, Fuda, and Cabral, adding them to the show, they fit right in. And if y'all could do a casting similar to that and assert more girls that kind of are just firecrackers in that way, just like they are, and just mix them in with some of the other cast members, I feel like you'll have a good damn show. But yeah, it just feels like it's just been a lot of fake, overproduced storylines, a lot of drama, a lot of people ain't being their authentic selves. And I'm sorry, Gia, you out here trying to roll with, like in the words of Kim D, you want to roll with the big boys? Or she rolls with the big boys or whatever, like you getting it too. Because you try to, now you asserting yourself in the stuff going on with the show. So let me know what y'all think for this in the comments down below. I'm Dolores Van Cartier. Dolores Van Cartier was Whoopi Goldberg in Sister Act. So, he said yesterday on a post on Instagram, some girl tried to read me saying I called Kamala Hitler. What? I thought I was saying Trump is this generation's Hitler. She was, well, you need to tell her what you should have said was, bitch, reading is fundamental. How about that? Learn how to read before you come for me. Otherwise, I'm going to read you down to the damn floor. When it said she was trying to come for how I look and said I look goofy, I was mad at first, but what? And I'd be like, bitch, do you own a mirror? Because your mama should have swallowed. You know, I always got a clap back. That's why I'm like perfect for the social media. Because I'll be ready to cuss a motherfucker out. Somebody tried to come for me the other day, too. I was like, child, with that big ass, you know, long ass head you got, I know you're not trying to read. Then I was talking about Miss Netta. I said, but she out here disrespecting all kinds of people, but you sit there defending her, and now you trying to come for me? Bitch, don't read. Don't do it, because your ass will go home crying. Dolores Van Cartier. Exactly. Go ahead, Miss Whoopi. And so I already look at Bravo with a side eye. I don't watch anything on there anymore. I wish they... Look, I've been saying that for years, but they ain't going to do that. They need to come out with something extremely drastic against it. There needs to be a surviving Andy Cohen for them to finally cut ties with him. Just like we need a surviving Drag Race. Oh my God, I got a blind item about Drag Race. Remind me when we get to Drag Race T. Because, bitch, there's another Drag Race girl that's allegedly caught up in a SA scandal. A friend of mine told me this 2 days ago from a reliable source and another queen that was on a popular drag show. I can't say no more. I'm going to have to zhuzh it up with the blind item situation, but remind me later on about the Drag Race thing so I can blend it in with the rest of the show. But anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about Simon Cowell. Child, we should have saw this coming. So apparently it looks like Britain's got no talent because he had to abandon, you know, his show in regards of trying to find some British boys who could perform like the next One Direction. So Simon Cowell has had to give up hope of creating a new boy band to repeat the global success with One Direction, as Britain has not got enough talent. A reality TV series called The Midas Touch, which was following his search for future stars, will now instead focus on Cowell as his pop dream falls apart. Britain's Got Talent judge Cowell, who's 64, has been staging a series of auditions for 16 to 18-year-olds in Liverpool, Dublin, and London. Despite adverts across social media, now you know somebody Brit roast that because British people say adverts. Despite adverts across social media, the numbers turning up at auditions have been low and many other performances underwhelming, with some boys found to be cast-offs from rejected bands. Cowell put together One Direction's Harry Styles, Louis Tomlinson, Niall Horan, Liam Payne, and Zayn Malik on The X Factor in 2010, who, despite coming third, then took the pop world by storm. An insider on The Midas Touch said Simon has been told the original idea behind the series needs to change. Rather than focusing on the creation of a boy band capable of going on to massive success, the focus is now much more about him. His frustration is at the auditions where many of the singers turning up are cast-offs from bands that didn't make it. But perhaps more crucially, Simon has been told to come to terms with the fact that maybe the era of chart-topping boy bands are over, and is devastating for him. At least 2 audition dates have now been canceled in Newcastle upon Tyne. A producer said it's going to be a documentary on Simon coming to terms with the fact that his golden days of discovering boy bands might be over. It might be compelling viewing to watch his downfall after... That's shady. They say it might be compelling viewing to watch his downfall after so many years as the star of Saturday Night TV. Was he the star of Saturday Night TV? Because American Idol, X Factor, all that stuff, that don't come on Saturdays. America's Got Talent, that don't come on Saturdays. You know what I was thinking? Why don't he expand it beyond the UK and come to the US, revamp it? I'm sure there's plenty of young boys out here with a lot of talent in America that would love to be put together as the next big boy band. Or maybe what it is the fact that maybe his whole idea behind the whole boy band thing, maybe it has passed. I don't know. Gen Z, jump on the line. Do y'all care about boy bands the way that my generation, you know, the millennials and Gen X have incorporated or cared about boy bands back in the day? I don't know if Gen Z cares about boy bands. I don't care if next Gen Alpha cares about boy groups and that whole thing. And I think because of, we've heard so many stories about boy bands, where they go, look, Dirty Pop is on Netflix. That one that was about Lou Pearlman and how he put together the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and all the drama they went through with him. So maybe there's a lot of precautions that a lot of these younger generations are taking where they become more aware of how boy bands were put together and the situations that was going on behind the scenes, where they were underpaid, the pay disparities, the not reading the fine print, all the drama that was going on, where they felt like, oh yeah, we're going to give you the lavish life, but you got to pay all that back. And then when you look at the receipts on, I put in 4 years of my life to finally get to a place where, I'm at the level of success of like a Backstreet Boys or One Direction and NSYNC and that sort of thing. Then you look at the paperwork, which we've heard so many times in so many groups, from NSYNC, Backstreet Boys on to even TLC. But they said, when we looked at the receipts, it was like, wait a minute, why do I only have, after all the millions of dollars that we've accumulated from touring, merch, all other stuff, I look at my account, I only got $30. Where they do that at? Where is the money? Where's all of it going? And then so many of these artists wind up broke, in debt, have to file for bankruptcy, and that sort of thing. So I think that may also play into it. And then the fact of the matter is, Simon's reputation over the years has always kind of been like this judge, this bad boy judge, who has been quite harsh in a lot of the, stuff he says about the artists that he performs with or he puts together. When he was on American Idol, when he's on America's Got Talent, when he was on the X Factor, with all these things, and they probably feel like he's a little too harsh in a lot of his delivery. Me personally, I feel like if I'm going to get a mentorship, that I guess maybe because my generation, we dealt with it. Like whenever people gave constructive criticism or they were a little harsh in their things, we listened because it was like, oh, well, we just push ourselves to get better. And we did it because a lot of the, we felt the adults knew what they were talking about. They come from a place of experience. They've been where we're trying to get. So we listen and we put up with it. But the newer generation, like, you're not going to talk to me any old kind of way and think it's okay. And in a way, I give it up to the Gen Z for not putting up with dealing with what we had to endure and had to put up with. But I said those were the times, and I guess that's our own cross to bear, that we need to get out of that space of, well, we got a thicker skin out of all of it, so we need to, But I do feel like the newer generation coming up is y'all a little too sensitive when it comes to situations. So it's like, stop being so damn sensitive. Grow a thick skin, bitch. So I don't know. I don't know if it'd be. Look, we'll just have to see when Netflix puts it together. But I don't know how I feel about a show where we're seeing Simon Cowell's downfall. I mean, it might be entertaining to watch somebody's career not be as awesome as it once was, or you're no longer on top as you once were. But with this whole situation, it's like, I don't know. Like, are people here for the boy band? Look, I told you the other day, I worked the AT's concert. They're a K-pop group, and the kids was living from the girls was living for these K-pop kids. So they be up there, they give good show. I won't say y'all do be doing too much with the whole. It should not take y'all 20 minutes to say goodbye when y'all get off the stage. We had to go through each one of them, and there's 8 members where they sit up in there saying goodbye, thank you for coming. It's like, child, are y'all chauffeurs? Are y'all the wait staff? Or y'all the pop stars? Like, you could just have one person say thank you, good night, get off the goddamn stage and wave. That's enough. But for the most part, the girls be out here living for the K-pop groups. So maybe what he need to do is pay attention to maybe the way that they used to put boy bands back in together is not working in today's climate. So maybe you need to kind of look at those boy bands, the K-pop groups that you threw shade at, which they also dragging you about. Maybe that could be it too. Maybe the fact of what he said about the K-pop groups and was trying to give all this credit to one direction pissed a lot of people off too. And maybe out of protest, they're not showing up. So it could be a whole plethora of things. But I have to say, what do y'all think of this story? Whatever y'all theories are on this and why you think that maybe do you think the boy band thing is washed up, that nobody cares? Me, I like boy bands and girl groups, so I wish there was a resurgence in that, but y'all got to do right by these kids too and stop trying to rip them off. So whatever y'all feel on this story, whatever your theories are, drop it down in the comments down below. Like you said, it seems like the younger people like solo artists more. I feel like Robert said that when we've had many conversations on the show. I'm going. My mother's texting me. So I gotta message her real quick. Yeah, this is make me check. I was like, who sent me a message? My mama. Gotta say hi to her. But anyway. So what was he talking about? Oh yeah. So I think Robert said that, and we've had many comments. Oh, when we message each other and all this other stuff, and he was saying like, I think that maybe I think the kids are more or less into the solo acts more so than the boy bands and the groups and all that stuff. But here's the thing: I want a resurgence of rock bands. That's what I want. I want kids out here playing a guitar. I want y'all to learn how to play an instrument. I played the piano when I was a kid growing up, so I'm all big on actual instruments. I feel like that whole thing is dying out because it's expensive out here in these streets when y'all be going out on tour. So, like, learn an instrument. Pick up a guitar, pick up a flute. Don't do what Miss Mamas did from American Pie to the flute, but pick up a flute. Shout out to Lizzo. Pick up any kind of instrument, a guitar, violin, whatever it is, an oboe, a bass. Do what y'all need to do and learn how to play an instrument. Because I feel like instruments are important. And I think everybody needs to learn how to play an instrument so that way y'all could, even if you don't play an instrument, learn the instrument. I had one of the things I was also, and I'm still blessed that I love that I learned, or maybe I don't think it was a learning thing. I've always had that instinct. I've always had a good ear for music. I never even learned how to read the sheet music. I've always learned how to play music by ear. I would hear something, and then on the piano, I would just play it back. So that's how I learned, music and stuff. I could never read the sheet music. I could never, I could never read music and stuff. And one of the inspirations for me when I was a kid growing up playing the classic piano, I think it was because I saw Amadeus and I wanted to be Mozart so damn bad. When I was a kid, that's what made me learn how to play a piano. It was because I was obsessed with Ludwig Amadeus Mozart. From when my music teacher actually showed me that movie. I actually own it too. It's a long ass movie. I remember Silverchair. I used to have a crush on the lead singer, and I remember it was like, yeah, they were little kids. They were kids. You know what? I gotta give a shout out to Hanson. I saw them not too long ago. They was on an episode of The View. I think they performed for Alyssa Farrah Griffin's birthday, and I was like, look, remember. Oh my God, what group did I say? Hanson. I said, remember Hanson? You had Zach Taylor and what was the other one? Isaac. That was my group. I used to love me some Hanson when I was a kid. I bought. They were like, I think everybody bought their first album, and then that Bop song on it. And I liked a couple of songs off of it, but I was just like, I just think because of the popularity of that song, I bought it. But then over the years, it was like, yeah, I would hear their songs and it was cute or whatever. But I was not like a hardcore Hanson fan. I did like a lot of their stuff. But anyway. Now let's go from one artist to another since we're talking about Hanson. And let's go on to some other artists that were kids performers. Let's talk about Billie Eilish and her brother Phineas, who her brother is defending his sister after some TikToker went and called her verse on the Guess remix, Charlie XCX's latest single. He called it predatory. Child, get off my line with the BS. So anyway, the song, which originally was released on the extended edition of Charlie's latest album, Brat, features Charlie declaring that listeners want to guess the color of my underwear. First of all, I love the music video and all the It's Raining Underwear and the mountain that they climb with the drawers and stuff. That was such a cute video, and I just love the production on that track. Shout out to A.G. Cook. And it said, and know what I've got going on down there. She tapped Eilish to join her on a new version of the track, which was released on Friday. The Birds of a Feather singer fully committed to her own sultriness with her verse, singing in part, I want to try it, bite it, lick it, spit it, pull it up to the side and get all up in it, kiss it, bite it, can I fit it? Charlie likes boys, but she know I'd hit it. And then she says, knows I hit it. Charlie, call me if you're with it. So now, of course, somebody had a problem with it. When I was saying that, try it, buy it, lick it, spit it, did y'all think of Technologic by Daft Punk? That's what that reminded me of when I was saying the lyrics to that. So anyway, so of course somebody had to go on TikTok and bitch and moan about it. Because, everybody needs a moan and everybody wants to call something predator-esque, whatever. So this person on TikTok said Billie's verse on Guess was high-key predatory. But y'all blinded by her usual queer baiting for commercial gain. Ever since the Lost Cause controversy, she's been reducing girls to mere objects, all in an effort to convince the masses that she's actually into them. Charlie is 32 and engaged, FYI. And have y'all never heard of people just being flirty? Okay, like, Child, when you born in an emissary, like, do you not get out? Are you you one of the Mormon types? Like somebody that lives in a bubble ain't really been out in the world with people? And who says that Charlie XCX's relationship ain't open? We don't know the extent of her relationship, and not necessarily like saying that it is. But here's the thing: if Billie said her verse on the song and Charlie is okay with it and doesn't have a problem with the verse, why do you have a problem with what she said if Charlie is not finding it problematic? And to me, I do not think, and trust and believe, there's many of y'all out here that be lesbian cosplaying. Lady Gaga, Nicki Minaj, a couple of y'all. Just on the top of my head, out here acting like y'all into the coochie and said that y'all was to get them fans, and y'all not. So if we want to do that, we could do that. But to me, Billie Eilish was outed in an interview she did. And if you look at Billie Eilish, she don't give me like she's cosplaying. She do give me bulldagger tees. And there's no shade. I'm just saying. I got very much a hard bulldagger vibe from her when I watched that damn music video. I don't think she's cosplaying. And for you to sit up in here and basically act like she's pretending, you don't know her. You don't know what's in her heart. You don't know what she's into or if she's ever been with a girl. How can you sit up here and say that somebody's cosplaying and pretending? You are not the faggot police. And I'm tired of people trying to act like that y'all are. So what, she got to be out here literally eating somebody's box for you to know if she a lesbian or she into women? She need to be, she have been eating her box on camera in the music video? The video wouldn't have made it onto the YouTube. But then again, we did see Tove Lo's video where she had all them people making out and stuff up in there, off that EP she dropped. And that was a little NSFW-esque. So now Billie, I will say, did not immediately respond to EW's request, but her older brother Phineas basically said what he said. He said, "What a take, you little clown," O'Connell commented on the TikTok per The Independent. "I got to watch the entire internet slam my sister for queer baiting for an entire year when in reality you were all forcing her to label and out herself." This is what he said, but his response has been deleted. And I'm tired of y'all putting stuff up, but then deleting it. I stand 10 toes down on y'all stuff. Fuck what all these other people got to say. If people out here is shading your sister and you know her, I'm a windmill for the people I care about. I don't give a damn what none of y'all say. Now, in 2021, Eilish was accused of queer baiting following the release of her Lost Cause music video, which featured her and several other women dancing, flirting, eating snacks, and playing games during a sleepover. At the time, she posted several photos from the shoot on Instagram with the caption, "I love girls." Remember that song, Girls, 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 where they had, what was it, Cardi B and Cardi B was on that. Yeah, and Rita Ora, that was another one. Who was the other one that was on that? Was it BB Rexa? It was one of them girls. And people was accusing them of queer. Now I believe they was queer baiting on that. But then again, with Miss Mama's married to Taika Waititi, I believe she get down in the bedroom. I believe that their relationship is open. They give me that vibe. Because allegedly there was a threesome that transpired between them and Valkyrie. What's her name? Tessa Thompson. there was a rumor with that. But anyway. So now she has since spoken out about her sexuality, telling Rolling Stone in April that she has been in love with girls for most of her life, or her whole life. Now, in addition to laying down the new verse of Charlie's track, Eilish can be seen driving a bulldozer and tumbling down a mountain of bras and underwear in the guest music video. The clip racked up more than 5 million views in a single day, and all of the undergarments featured in it have found a good home too. Its press release announced that the video's bras and underwear have since been donated to the I Support the Girls Found organization. The nonprofit collects and distributes essential items, including bras, underwear, and menstrual hygiene products, allowing people experiencing homelessness, impoverishment, and distress to stand tall with dignity. So look, they're being charitable out here, as they should. And y'all sitting up in here making a big deal out of damn nothing. So to me, this dude is just, you was looking for a moment, and look, you got it, and you got dragged on social media for making comments about somebody that you personally don't know. And to me, it's just like, damn, now we're getting to a point you can't even express yourself artistically, come up with some tongue-in-cheek, some very, sexually suggestive lyrics about somebody without well, you're glorifying them in a sexual manner. She's engaged to be married. That's inappropriate. Like, get off my line with all this other stuff. Why can't we create music anymore and really interesting creative lyrics without people trying to dissect things and call it misogynistic, homophobic, this and that? Now, if you coming out here, you deliberately saying some stuff that is coming at somebody in a way that's harmful, I could understand that. But to me, it was her being flirtatious. And she said if the opportunity presented itself, she get all up in Charlie XCX. And if Charlie's down, then it is what it is. That's her decision. She grown. They both are grown. So stop with the extra BS. Some of y'all be doing too much. Look, sometimes I be wanting to y'all make me want to cuss some of y'all out with the stupidness that y'all get on social media with all this baiting or whatever because y'all want a moment on y'all streaming platforms. Damn allergies. But anyway, I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Are y'all team Billie Eilish on this or no? So let me know what y'all think of this story in the comments down below. You said, what people don't want to understand is that Billie is into girls. The people that are saying all this about her have never been flirted with because they're chronically online. Okay. And he said, not too much on God. Okay. It's hard to get a girlfriend when people don't believe you. Okay. And they said, only cosplay Billie does is dressing as a Leo. Okay. Doesn't know what how many times I said okay with it? Yeah, now I do agree with that. She do be giving Aaliyah tea. The only difference is she got titties and Aaliyah didn't have any. She's shaped like a little boy. That's probably why R. Kelly was into her. And I live for Aaliyah, but we gotta call it as it is. May she rest in peace. Did you see Amber Rose get triggered and embarrassed by our freestyle? No, I did not see that. I need to see that. But Amber Rose is trash. And who was that old queen that interviewed her and then also recently did an interview with Trump? Basically, he just licked the crack of Trump's stank low behind. He leaves shit stains in the drawers. He definitely give me that he leaves skid marks and gotta be like Ray J and the underwear's always gotta be dark. But then again, he do give me like he wear tighty whities and still get the skid marks up in there. Cause Melania ain't washing them. But that boy was up in there with the little MAGA hat on, looking stupid. But yeah, okay, I need to YouTube it. He said, I love Billie. Leave her alone, biatches. Billie and Gaga have kissed the girl. I actually liked it. Unlike Katy Perry, right? Okay, so we have 2 more topics. Those are drag race stories, but please do me a solid before we get into them. Hit that like button, that subscribe button, and the notification bell if you haven't already, so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. And so without further ado, let's get into this one of 2 drag race stories. And let's talk about Nikki Doll. Now, we talked about Nikki, what was it, last week? Where she was talking about because of the whole thing with the Olympics and what Lawrence Fox had said about drag queens and all the disgusting things that he said on social media, and he has been sued before. And Nikki was like, a lawsuit is coming your way, sir. And lo and behold, she kept her promise. And a lawsuit is coming his way because his mama is suing his ass. So now it says RuPaul's Drag Race star and Drag Race France host Nikki Doll has taken legal action against British actor and politician Lawrence Fox after he lashed out at drag queens involved in the Paris Olympics opening ceremony and called them deviant little pedos on social media. Nikki was one of the performers who appeared in the ceremony's festivity, which was meant to celebrate diversity and inclusion. The scene received backlash online after some conservatives perceived it to be mocking Leonardo da Vinci's famous painting, The Last Supper. But Olympic artistic director Thomas Joly later confirmed on French network BFM TV that the scene was actually inspired by Greek mythology. Fox condemned the segment on Twitter, writing, "No point in getting wound up when the child effers want to wind you up. Just laugh at the deviant little PDOs. Eternity is a bitch." Nikki later reposted Fox's comments, writing, "Since you didn't learn the first time around, when you called my friend Crystal Will See You," and that was at Crystal Will See You, that's her handle, "a pedo, I'm going to show you that you don't get to write things like that about queer people for the fun and the misinformation of it and go away with it. See you in court again at Laza Fox." Now she has done just that. Now on Friday, her lawyer announced in a press release that they had filed a defamation complaint against Mr. Lawrence Fox and other users of the social platform Twitter. Because Elon, or as I like to call him, what was the word? Apartheid Clyde. Over at Twitter, he allows people to just say all kinds of disgusting transphobic things over there, racist, transphobic mess over on Twitter, and freedom of speech. But I guess when it aligns with the stuff you say, but then when you have people out there who are posting positive things about Kamala Harris and her kicking your fave's ass that you was donating millions of dollars to, then you want to basically get rid of their, disable their account, I guess is the word I was looking for. So they said Nikki Doll, who for years has received insults and hate messages, has been subjected to an unprecedented wave of hate and nastiness, going as far as death threats since her performance in the festivity tableau, the release read. These messages go beyond artistic criticism, with some of them conveying a mixture of hate and defamation, associating drag performances with pedophilia. These, you gotta get creative when you say these words. These comparisons are serious and unacceptable. The statement continued, "This is the reason for the action. Any publication or message suggesting Nikki Doll's performance encourages pedophile practices will be flagged." A representative for Fox would not immediately respond to EW's request for comment. However, sharing her lawyer's press release on her Twitter account, Nikki added, "I will never again allow myself or other queer people to be defamed and demonized. In responding with love doesn't work for If responding with love doesn't work for some, then responding with justice should work. See you in court." And that's what I agree with. If you're going to run out here and you're going to say all kinds of crazy stuff and you're going to be putting out certain narratives in regards to things that you're going to say about people, that you need to be dragged down to the floor. It's like sometimes, I don't agree with that whole when they go low, we go high thing. Y'all already know how petty I am. You go low, I'm going straight to hell. We going down to the crust of, Hades with the dragation. It's like, you're not just going to run out here and say false narratives and think, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, blah, blah, blah." Nope. We're going to court. I don't care how much money I got to shell out, and we're going to win, and you're going to have to pay up. Because clearly, you ain't learned your damn lesson. So you think Elon, is going to protect you from the stuff that you say? He's not going to lift a finger and help you in your little court case. You want to pay up. Because you're out here calling people all kinds of derogatory words. And I think in European countries, you can be fined for online bullying. So they said the drag performance lawsuit comes days after Barbara Butch, a French not Barbara Butch, a French DJ who was also featured in the Tableau segment, filed multiple police complaints after receiving a wave of online death, torture, and R-word threats following the ceremony. Reports Sky News. French authorities have also opened an investigation into death threats made against Jolie over the tableau. This is what Reuters reports. Now, in January, RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 1 star Crystal and former Stonewall chair Simon Blake won a libel lawsuit against Fox when he defamed them by falsely calling them PDO files. He countersued the pair for calling him racist, I mean, you kind of are, sir, on social media, but his case was later dismissed in court. Crystal told Entertainment Weekly that she took no joy in the lawsuit, noting that Fox could have resolved the case with an apology, saying, "I've said it before, but pedophilia is one of the oldest and most damaging homophobic tropes." This is what she said. "Since Mr. Fox used the word about me, I have been relabeled as such dozens of times, been physically threatened, and been afraid for my safety in public. This judgment unequivocally states that his tweet was defamatory and that it caused me harm. I am very happy to have this finalized, and it will make it said also, I hope it will make some difference in the ongoing demonization of queer people as groomers or dangerous. This is a lesson. We will not take it." Well, look, clearly he ain't learned his lesson because we got Nikki Doll, going in on him. And she's the first ever French contestant to appear on RuPaul's Drag Race when she competed in season 12. Yes, she didn't go far, but look, she gained a hosting gig out of it. And I do love Drag Race France. I was a little, as y'all know, as we said before, underwhelmed by the finale. But overall, Drag Race France is like one of my top international shows. España, I've been living for y'all, but lately y'all kind of been lackluster, so you slipped the second. Before you was the first, but now y'all slipped down to second place, and France has taken over. So I'm with Nikki on this. I'm glad she's taking his ass to court, and fingers crossed that she wins. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this thing? Sometimes I keep telling y'all run out here and saying all kinds of stuff about us. We're not going to sit up in here and just let y'all run off with the mouth and say all kinds of craziness and get away with it. You're going to get read down to the floor, and you're going to go right to the courthouse, and you're going to get sued, and you're going to have to pay up, because y'all can't just be running out here with these narratives and thinking that, oh, you're going to dox me or you're going to bully me, and I'm just going to sit up in here and allow all that to happen with y'all misinformation. I'm surprised that T.S. Madison did not sue D.L. Hughley for spreading misinformation about, I forget what the story was, but there was something where she got caught up with some transgender, I know what it was. It was that thing where Jess Hilarious went off on her in regards to the whole, have women, women being the ones that are bearer of children, because there was some, I think, trans person that got on social media and made the comment talking about her partner and said something about women aren't the owners of periods, that whole situation. And he went and said it was her, T.S. Madison, that said it, and it wasn't her, it was somebody else. And so you had all these people coming at T.S. Madison, and she went on him and was like, you need to take that down because I'm not the one that said it. But because I guess her name is very popular in a lot of circles, she got the brunt of the hate. And people who feel the way they feel about trans people and all this other stuff, y'all going to put a little extra stank on it. Just like that 14-year-old trans child who was murdered and dismembered by a grown-ass man. There was people in the comments saying all kinds of nasty, vile stuff about that whole situation. So there's an overall hatred towards a lot of queer people who are just out here minding their business, trying to live their best life. And y'all don't like the fact that we're getting a lot of attention. Y'all really about to be mad because of Kamala VP Pitt, who is very pro-LGBT. So be mad at your mama, is what I gotta say. With a lot of y'all out here with y'all damn hate. Because guess what? We are here, we are queer, and we ain't going no goddamn where. So let me know what y'all think of this story in the comments down below. No matter how hard y'all hate us, I should say. Oh, you said, what was you going to say about what you heard? The video is called Amber Rose Crashed Out on Murder Mook. There was a guy in Abigail that looks a lot like Elon. Was it? Was it the father? Who was it? It said, take Megyn Kelly, Elon Candace, lots of people to court. I remember an episode of Hoarders where the couple who was hoarding believed. Ciao. Yeah, okay. You said, oh yeah, you said I had a yeah. Okay. So there was a blind item that I was told by a friend of mine who recently just did an event for another queen. who was on a popular TV show. I can't say which show it was because then y'all know who the source is. But apparently she said that she don't fuck with a certain Drag Race girl who I say A, made history on Drag Race, and B, has a podcast. They were accused of SA. So, they accused of SA and the girls. And there's a little history behind it. Can't say who it was, but I will say this. It's not Got Mick. That's the only hint that I will get, because y'all be like, oh, they got a podcast, they was accused of SA, and they made history. So I'm going to just leave it there, and y'all figure it out. That's all I'm saying on it. So Fox's ex-wife don't even want kids to be around him. And yes, he's also a racist. Exactly. And you from overseas, so I'm sure you would know better about Lawrence Fox than I would. I never really was familiar with him until this story about Nikki Doll just came out. So, and you know, I be getting the tea on the Drag Race girls. And don't I be correct on a lot of my stuff? And shout out to Dakota Payne, because the day that I told y'all about Vanjie went and commented on one of my stories about the whole Detox situation over my TikTok, Detox being upset that her girl didn't win, he followed me on social media. So like I was saying, because you know the story about Shangela. And I told her there's another adult cinematographer performer that I know that said they were also SA by Shangela, and slid up in the thing because he saw the thing that I did on the Dakota Payne story. Dakota followed me and liked it. And I guess my friend was like, maybe you need to initiate and be like, if you want to come on and tell his story. I don't like to push people into doing interviews so that way they could, you know, grist for the mill. Like, I don't want to do that. When people are ready to come out and say what they want to say, like Daniel McGarrigle was when I did his interview, then I leave it up to them. He said, so he was a good actor on the TV show over here, but obviously COVID fried his brain. Okay. Yeah, because it's like once people got, you know, the COVID thing and then the lockdown and now everybody's kind of coming out of the house, everybody just done lost their damn mind. Okay, but anyway, let's get to our final topic, which is this story about this. First of all, I did not know about this long-headed heifer, Valentina Gomez. When I saw Valentina, I'm like, wait a minute, Valentina from Drag Race is in a beef with Bianca Del Rio and Candy Muse? But no, it's a different Bianca. I mean, not Bianca. It's a different Valentina. Let me pull up her picture because I was like, bitch, why are you so angry? In case y'all didn't see, y'all don't know who we talking about. Long ass head. But anyway, so I said a number of RuPaul's Drag Race queens are coming for Missouri politician Valentina Gomez after a homophobic tirade about the Olympics she posted to social media. Why is everybody all of a sudden coming out with this hatred towards the LGBTs on the Olympics? We had J.K. Rowling, long head, testosterone-filled ass, running her mouth. Elon Musk, ugly ass, which quiet as it's kept. I heard he had multiple surgeries. So you out here getting all kinds of surgery to make yourself look a tad bit more attractive, which he still don't. He's still ugly on the outside and the damn side. And I know we not talking about gender assignments and things, but it's like you don't even look like your original self. So they said after Missouri political hopeful Valentina Gomez posted a bizarre video calling for the Olympics to implement a separate F-word category, rhymes with maggot, in case y'all wondering which F-word we talking about, RuPaul's Drag Race queens swarmed the problematic post with condemnation for the far-right figure. Chill. Here's what Bianca said. She said, if only you had an F word to properly wax your upper lip and eyebrows, no wonder you are bitter. This is what season 6 winner and world-renowned drag entertainer Bianca Del Rio replied to the clip, which Gomez shared to her Twitter, because we dead name things over here. I keep forgetting. Her Twitter account on Thursday amid debate over the Paris Olympics boxer Imani Khalif, the Algerian sportswoman previously disqualified from the 2023 World Championship after she failed an unspecified test relating to gender qualifications. What kind of test did y'all take? Well, y'all can't tell if she's a woman or a man. Did she have to like take off her clothes and show you she had a vagina? Like what kind of test do you have to take for someone to tell you that they are a female or a man? Like, what are we doing? And what is wrong with people? And how the lack of education and the banning of books has made a lot of y'all stupid. Candy Muse said, "Girl, fuck you, you pick me ass bitch." That's what Candy Muse said, was a season 13 alum and All Stars 8 finalist. This is what she wrote on Twitter in response to Gomez's video, which also drew ire from All Stars 5 winner and upcoming Marvel's Ironheart star. What happened to that show? That's been taking a long time coming out. Shea Coulee. I ain't come to play, I came to select. Who called Gomez a clown and a loser on social media. In her incendiary post, Gomez, who's running for Secretary of State in Missouri, indirectly referenced Khalif in her fiery tirade against the Olympics. Dropped a whole lot of F-bombs while she was at it. The F words, plural, should get their own F word category because before, if a man hit a woman, it used to land him in jail. Now it gets you a gold medal at the Olympics. These are the worst Olympics in history. They made a mockery out of the Christianity and women. Let me remind you, there's no such thing as a chick with a dick. Keep women's sports for chill. Now, somebody don't go knock her ass upside the head. But let the biggest say what they want to say. Because y'all not going to be ready for the clapback and the smoke. Now, public uproar began after an instance earlier this week when one of Khalif's competitors, Italy's Angela Carini, pulled out of their match after several seconds in the ring. According to the Associated Press, Khalif's passport indicates that she was assigned female at birth, which is the International Olympic Committee's threshold for eligibility for boxing. And also, don't they kill trans people over in Algeria? So why the hell would they set her up to go compete in the Olympics only to kill her if she was trans? She's not trans. She's assigned female at birth. Now, if we're going to get into conversations about how sometimes people have chemical imbalances and how there are females who have way more testosterone in their system based off of their genetic makeup than estrogen. Same thing with some men who have a little more estrogen in their situation than testosterone. Do we need to talk about, biology and things going on with the human body? We got to break that down for the slow. I don't understand that. Whatever happened to educating yourselves before y'all come up with these stupid ass situations? They said the outlet continued noting that Khalif was disqualified from the 2023 World Championships after failing unspecified and untransparent eligibility tests for women competition from the now banned International Boxing Association. Other RuPaul's Drag Race franchise stars also came under fire after their opening ceremony in Paris featuring Season 12 Queen and Drag Race France finalist host Nikki Doll appearing during a lengthy performance alongside Drag Race France Season 1 winner Paloma and a setup that many interpreted as a reference to the historical Last Supper painting, which we just talked about. Then they had the Candace Cameron Bure came out and said what she said. Then British personality Lawrence Fox, which we just talked about prior to, is being sued by Nikki Doll for the things of what he went and called them PDO files and all kinds of craziness. So now she's taking his ass to court because he's running around here making derogatory comments about gays and drag queens being child effers. Those are his words. So she said, "It is my absolute honor to perform in front of billions of people around the world and celebrate our Olympians." This is what Nikki later wrote on Instagram. "And remember, to the ones that had their feathers ruffled seeing queerness on their screen, we ain't going nowhere." And that's what I said before. I said, we queer, we here, and we ain't going no goddamn where. And what I'll say this after all these drag... Oh, and let me pull this up because, Valentina got mad at Miss Bianca Del Rio, but Bianca Del Rio came back with the ultimate clapback because Miss Bitch, can dish it, but she can't take it. She blocked her. She blocked Bianca. And she said, unlike an F word, she couldn't take it. You just can't take it. You're just an overgrown orangutan. So yeah, that's what she put. And that was that. So I say all this to say, since we're done, what do y'all think of this story? I'm sick and tired of these bigots out here saying all kinds of crazy stuff and thinking y'all can just say whatever the hell y'all want and there's no repercussion for your actions. And you know what? I'm so sick and tired of y'all using that snowflake shit, because my thing is, I could take a whole lot, but you say something, you best believe that I'm going to read your ass down to the floor, to the point where you're going to walk away crying or wish you wasn't living on this earth. You're going to hate your life to the point where you're going to find the nearest cliff and jump. That's what I'm going to say about that. So if people going to be sitting up in here mad, but then you want to play the victim because you the one that started, bitch. I'm not a starter. I'm a finisher. And if you come for me, you better come prepared. You better be ready to try to battle me in the reading department because you will lose. And that's what I'm going to say on that. So when y'all come out here with y'all ignorance, y'all bigotry or whatever the case is, I'm going to let you slide for a moment. But the minute you say some shit that really irks my spirit, I'm sorry, I'm channeling the evilest side of my personality. And I'm going to drag you to the point that you're going to wish your mama swallowed. And that's just the way it is. Don't say no ignorant stuff or come for people and be a bully if you're not ready to fight verbally. Not physical. If it gotta get physical, it is what it is. But if you're gonna come for me and talk about I shouldn't exist because you got a problem with my existence or whatever the case is, you better be ready for that clapback. So Bianca, you already know that mouth is lethal. And you know a lot of these sissies and punks be ready to windmill verbally. Everything don't always got to be a physical altercation. You can cuss somebody out to the way where they just going to shut your ass and be mad and block you, which is what the bitch did. So it's funny how y'all want to call us snowflakes, but y'all be the main ones with the snowflake behavior. Make that make sense. And that's why I said that's the way you got to deal with bullies like Trump. When you want to sit up in here and talk about all the things you want to come at Kamala and all these other people, when y'all come with y'all bullying, throw it back on them. Just switch up the names and the narrative. Throw it back on them. Just shut them up. So let me shut up at the end of this because I want to keep rambling on and ranting about this whole stuff because I could go on for hours cussing the motherfucker out. So let me know what y'all think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, so now speaking of comments, let's look up what some people are saying. Oh, wait. But you said Fox is an absolute menace in the UK. He has way more influence on political discourse. There was something also I was looking at of a video where those kids that got stabbed, the Taylor Swift dancer thingy. I don't know the exact story, but the whole Taylor Swift incident where three little girls were killed, unalived, by somebody going around just stabbing some people. And there was a narrative that was cooked up that it was migrants, that y'all got migrants staying, they're shipping them off to the UK and they're living in places and people are all upset about, they feel like, y'all said the white people are taking, I said, damn, now we got like these colonizing ass Trump supporting thinking types. It's worldwide. Like we don't even think like it's in the US, it's happening in the UK, it's happening in France, all this race fight, this race war and all this other stuff that's going on. And then we got it happening in New York too. I did not know the row in Midtown Manhattan is full of migrants. And it's like, y'all find us a place, and don't get me wrong, I know the United States is for immigrants, and I'm all for helping people out, but we got to help our own people too, and not just be, helping the people that come here. But a lot of us are still struggling to pay our rent, be able to get an apartment and keep it, but y'all letting these people live up in hotel rooms free. It's just a whole bunch of craziness that was going on with that. And I was just like, there seems to be a lot of this infighting that's going on, these race wars that they're using as a distraction while the government is stripping away a lot of things and just giving us a little bit of crumbs while the 1% continue to eat healthily. And we out here still struggling to rob Peter to pay Paul. You said I saw her video, then I saw something she said about her brother. I said, I wonder what she really thinks about. Wait, who? We talking about Candace? There's a video I saw. Oh, I need to bring that up on the next show. I wanted to bring that on, but I was like, this show would be too long if I added all the stuff. I think I'm going to bring that on the next time I do a show, which will be Thursday. Christine Lakin, who used to be on Step by Step, she revealed some tea about why she believes that she was fired from Fuller House. She said because she made this little video mocking Kirk Cameron. And I need to show y'all the video and everything. They had a lot of former child stars that was up there mocking him over his homophobia. There was one I saw also of Jeremy Miller, who played the younger brother on Growing Pains, who was saying, oh, he loves everybody. No, the fuck he don't, because him and his sister sit up here and judge every damn body, be saying all kinds of crazy stuff, especially against the LGBTs. And now you want to, oh, he's misunderstood. Boy, if you don't go fuck a duck, go somewhere. So yeah, I need to bring that video up too. Because we could do our 90s nostalgia. And to add to the 90s nostalgia, I just saw a recent thing where Danielle Fishel was talking about Boy Meets World. and said that Corey should have never got married. They revealed it on Pod Meets World. And so Corey and Topanga should have never got married. And thinking about it, you know what? So Corey and Topanga should have never got married. And we could have seen how that played out. But then if that would have happened, would they have had Girl Meets World, which Sabrina Carpenter was on? Look how Sabrina always wound up in the conversation. He said Fox is a menace in the UK. He has more influence than he should. The left and center don't take him seriously, but the right and grifters. Yeah, that's why I said if the left and the center don't take him serious, what we need to do is there needs to be pushback. And that's why I'm like, slowly we're starting to see the pushback in America. But I feel like y'all waited too long to do the pushback. And it's annoyed me how the media has allowed, which it seems like the same thing that's happening over in the UK. And that's why I love that we have international people that be on here to let me know, keep my eye ear to the street of what's going on in other parts of the world. I don't only want to just be concerned about what's happening in America. Like, I want to know how the world is affected by a lot of things. And you said like the left and the center, I feel like that's happening here too. We don't take Trump seriously. We just like, he's a clown, he's an idiot, he's a grifter, he's all the things that we talk about. But I feel like enough people don't push back on the foolishness he says. It's sort of like, you know, we hear the women of the View will sit and say things. I do love the fact that I'm seeing more people come on, even Republicans going on MSNBC and pushing back against some of the stuff that Trump is doing. But I feel like now maybe they're doing it because it's the popular thing to do. And they're realizing that because he doesn't have as much media power and presence as he once did, now everybody's feeling safe enough to go and windmill against him. People ain't as scared of him anymore. It felt like it's the Diddy effect. All of a sudden, when Diddy was doing all the craziness he was doing, y'all was real quiet. But now when all this stuff has come out, now all of a sudden everybody got something to say about Diddy. I just wish that people had a backbone back when the shit was hot. But I guess when you do that, people are afraid of being blackballed and not having a career. But you got to be able to stand on something, because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, which is an old saying. I mean, I saw something written about her brother, not something she said. Then I was like, I wonder what she really thinks of her brother. You said her test level was obviously too high, and she's trying to gain attention. Well, it's like people don't educate themselves. Oh, you said Valentina's brother is part of. Oh, yeah, I heard about that he's part of the LGBTQ task force. Well, I need him to speak out against his sister. I'm about to say a bad word. Not trying to get canceled. So I'm gonna keep it to myself. Word is actors are afraid to play Justin Timberlake and Britney biopic. He worked with them all and has too much clout. So his people told Universe first not to have him part of it. Well, you know what? If they can't get Justin, because I feel like Justin, what he's going to do is he's going to get that lawyer onto the biopic. But I feel like if Britney's going to tell her story, there should be it should be alluded to. But it's going to be weird. How do y'all make that work? How are you going to be able to do a biopic and not bring up the Justin Timberlake accusations? The fact of her scene, because you know they're going to have to play out the abortion scene. Him strumming her pain with his fingers on the floor in the bathroom while she's going through the pain or whatever. Going through the whole situation in her house. Because they had to keep it private. And that tumultuous relationship, the accusations of cheating, all that stuff. How are you going to bring this book to life? You can't bring Justin, have him a part of it. She has to be able to tell her story. Now, if you want to pull cease and desist or whatever, then I'll see you in court. But I got to tell my side of the story. I'm sorry. Because it kind of makes me wonder, too, about this Madonna biopic. Like, if she's going to talk about, I'm sure she's got to have somebody playing Sean Penn. And I'm sure she's got to be able to address her marriage to Guy Ritchie. She's expressed it in her music, and there was no lawsuit. So why can't I express it in my movie about my life and the things that I went through? So it said, so if test level are too high, they are medicated to reduce the level. It's fairly complicated because it's different in athletics too. Especially when you got a lot of big back black women who run track and all this other stuff. There's a chemical imbalance in that way too. And it's not a read. I'm just saying that is a known fact. So there's always chemical imbalances in human beings. So how do y'all sit and determine or whatever? If she ain't said she trans, then she's not trans. But, you know, and I think that's where a lot of times where y'all be making those comments where y'all misgender women or you call them, oh, you look like a man, or whatever the case is. And why I think a lot of times cisgender women feel the way that they feel about trans people, because there has been that bullying throughout their lives because they have a lot of masculine features, which a lot of people can't help. They get misgendered. So a lot of times I feel like women will take that out on trans people because I've been bullied, so now I'm gonna bully them. It's a nasty cycle. He's in Britney's book. He's gonna be part of the movie. Whether exactly he's a part of the book. So like I'd be damned if somebody tell me that I can't tell my story and incorporate somebody that I'm talking about in the damn book. He has to understand that's how this business works. And if Justin comes out and tries to fight this, do you know how bad it's going to get for him with the Britney army? Like they're going to come after his ass. So tread lightly, sir. If you know what's good for you, you better be good to mama. Mama be good to you. You screw it, you fake it, you're over, you can't take it. Okay? I would argue that Fox has no influence. He's a laughing stock. Oh, Evan says, yeah, there are literal fascist riots here. They're still going on. A lot of POC are scared to go outside in some cities. But you know what? I'm kind of glad that we're not having. It's funny. I knew what you wrote before you wrote it. It's funny how when people make mistakes or whatever, and they're typos, or whatever, it's like for some reason my brain could do like Scrabble, and I can figure out what you mean. It's weird like that. But anyway, that's what I'm worried about. Like that's going to trickle down over here. And we've heard stories about Trump saying, and his people have been saying, if Kamala wins, like expect a war, a riot. Like there have been implications of that. They've been alluding to that here. So, what do you have sex with a bear? What's the tea going on with? I did hear something or another was going on with RFK Jr. scandal, but I've been so busy this morning trying to I got up late this morning. I literally woke up around damn near 11 o'clock. That's how tired I was. Because last night, and yeah, this is the end of the show. So we basically just, we chat and kiki and the thing before we sign off. So, in case y'all didn't know that. But, last night when I got in late. I was so irritated because it was too damn hot in the subway trying to get home. I told you I did the Green Day concert last night. So I was just like exhausted when I got home. I was high on adrenaline still because after you do like shows, whatever the case is, I'll be high on adrenaline. It's hard to come down. Now I understand how these artists feel when they perform it. It's like I could not go to sleep. So I went to bed probably around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't remember. But I stayed up. I was watching some YouTube videos or whatever. And then I was working on some topics still. I don't know why I still got into the whole. I was like, when I get home, I'm not going to get into the blogging, doing all the stuff. Of course, I hear something about celebrity news. Like, damn, I got to get on the line and I got to start working. So the work don't stop for me. So I was tired. And then when I got up this morning, I was like, it's damn near 11 o'clock. So I didn't really hear what was going on with the whole RFK situation. You say Roseanne was so tired. She looked tired and is tired. She looked old as hell. And that's what I said, being bitter and hateful, you see what it does? It ages you. That's why I try not to be that way. I just cuss everybody out, say it, exercise it, and move on. That's like what a friend of mine was saying earlier, because he was saying that people get mad at him because he's always expressing, like when he'll call me and he'll air out his frustrations over dating or whatever the case is, he'll be like, and I'd be like, I have this friend who also just be on social media, always bitching and moaning about stuff that goes on in his life or whatever. And I said, sometimes y'all don't need to be posting things on social media. He said, I guess that's his outlet. And sometimes you just need to release it and just put it out there and move on. And I said, you know what? Now I look at it that way because I guess, with us Virgos, y'all be sitting on us cold like we don't have emotions. We have emotions. We just internalize it because we don't want y'all to know how we feel on something because we don't want y'all to weaponize it and use it against us. So that's why a lot of times we internalize that stuff. And then the day come when y'all try us, we keep that Rolodex of receipts, and then we pull out the Rolodex, and then we go in. And it's like we literally will remember some shit that you did to us 5 years ago. We start from there and work our way down. That's just the way we work. Unfortunately. We can't help it. It's just the way our brains is wired. Or it's because of our sign. So But when he put it in that perspective, I was like, you know what? You're right. And I think that's what I use this show for. Now that I think about it, is that I think I just exercise my feelings. I say all the stuff. I use this platform as a way for me to just get all the stuff out and release it and move on. Especially when it comes to the bigotry and the hatred that we as queer people endure. He said one-on-one or old-fashioned and monogamous. So, wait, what are we talking about again? I said misogynoir and transphobia go hand in hand. Olurinati and Foreign Fridays both have great videos on this. Oh, I've never heard of Olurinati. Maybe I need to look into that. He said Kamala and Walsh are about to do their first campaign together. Jerry U.S. You talking about Jerry Hollowell? You said, sorry, sleepy, dyspraxic typing on a phone is not a good. I'm watching you while visiting my aunt's house. By the way, I'm so oh, that's funny. It's like I'm so bored here. I'm having to watch me. Should I be flattered or insulted? No, I'm just playing. It's an RFK Jr. had a bear carcass in his for like 12 hours. And drove around with the bear in his car. So did it smell? Like, how do you leave a stank old bear carcass in your car? Oh, he trying to act like he wanted the dudes, like he like one of those guys that go hunting for, hunting animals in the woods. And like, yeah, my guy's got masculinity here, misogyny here. Like, okay, sir, calm down. Like some of these stereotypes y'all play up to choose just to show how much of a man you are. It's downright laughable. You said Jerry is 52, but Mel B is right. She gives me a 75. Why Jerry say that? She look old. Look, if she gives 75-year-old teas, then at least 4 years younger than Donald Trump. Isn't Donald Trump like 79, 78? But anyway, well, I don't know. Any final questions, comments, or concerns? Y'all could drop that in the comments because I'm about to log off. I think it's raining outside right now, and they said there's a flood advisory. We'll see how that works out because I'm supposed to work a Def Leppard and Journey concert tomorrow. Yeah, we're going way back in the day with the classic rock. So I already know what it's going to give me working that event. I'm actually have to say this. I'm glad I'm not working that Slipknot concert next week because I'm like, bitch, I will be mad because I already know what that concert is going to give. But I'm not working that. I know Incubus has a concert at my job at the end of the month. But anyway, so he said, Jerry Hollowell wear a shirt that said, dip me in chocolate, throw me to the... Ooh. Well, didn't she dip herself in chocolate at one point when she and Mel B allegedly had a relationship of the sexual kind? Is Steve Perry dead? Hold on. I'm trying to remember because I can't keep up with all this stuff. First of all, when I saw Smashing Pumpkins, it was good to see Darcy and James Eha and all of them up there together. And I love when I see old bands reunite. Oh, that I skipped the comment. Well, it'd be so much up in here. Was it the Jerry US thing? Oh, you said you said he retired. Oh, okay. Well, look, shout out to Aerosmith. They all had to retire because Steve Harvey, child, Steven Tyler had to retire because he can't sing no more. He got that vocal surgery and he can't sing like he used to. So that's the messed up part. I was like, damn, I feel bad for him. He can't sing no more. And I see a screenshot of myself in this picture. Oh, she put happy 75th birthday, Ginge. Oh, I see. And then you have a screenshot of me with my mouth open. Why is it every picture you got of me with my mouth open? But anyway, yeah, I just saw the photo. But yeah, look, you can't do the thing forever. Sometimes you gotta know when to hold and be like, you know what, I'm good. I gotta retire. You know what's a band I would really love to see go back out on tour? And I seen a couple of people wearing those T-shirts yesterday when I was working the Green Day concert. I really feel like they need to Rage Against the Machine need to come back and do a damn tour, because I'm like, this is the perfect time that Rage needs to be out making music, especially with all the stuff that's been going on in politics and stuff. They were thriving at that time. And I like Tom Morello. I know he's been playing around with other bands and doing all this other stuff. And he was a part of two iconic bands. He was in Rage and he was in Audio Slave. But you know, Chris Cornell is not around anymore, so he can't be a part of that. And they have some good songs that they created being a part of that group. So it's not often you get to be a part of a lot of amazing bands before, you know, 100 gigs of chill. Who cares? Don't nobody care for Drake. I know. When is that Camila Cabral track coming out with him? Because you know she's trying to salvage what was left of that damn album. Grace Randolph be on the track. I like Grace Randolph. Her voice be annoying me sometimes, but I do like Grace. Is about to give her opinion on the Britney biopic on her YouTube live. She might spill some tea too, since she's a critic choice voter. I guess you know what, I'll check that out when I log off. I gotta do that, and I know I gotta watch that Funky Dineva interview with Carlos King, because I definitely want to hear the tea spilled on that. And I don't even know if Funky Dineva did a show last night. I need to check and see if he did an episode of his show, because I didn't see if he did one. But I definitely need to check out the Funky Dineva interview that he did with Carlos King. So I'm gonna check that out later. And I need to catch him on House of the Dragon, because I got like 3 episodes left, but I already heard the tea. Because, you know, that's like something you need to watch the day of, because people start spilling stuff. And they said it was literally a 75-minute setup for season 3, which we already know they wrapping it up at season 4. And then people's like, you know, the snobs, well, I guess you never read the book, right? Reads. And we watching a TV show. That's like I was not that excited for the Rings of Power, the what is it, Lord of the Rings series. I was so pissed over season 1. I was like, this anticlimactic mess. But now after seeing the new trailer for season 2, I'm like, okay, well, y'all got me now. But if y'all pull that chain and you put together this amazing trailer, and I sit and watch that damn movie, that damn show, and it's still another lackluster ass season, then I'm not watching season 3. It'd be nice to give y'all another chance. But if y'all pull another one and I'm gonna be disappointed, then it's a wrap. So anyway, wait, let me take that out. I always forget to take out the last banner. So we're at the end of the show. Thank you all for tuning in. Tune in next time for a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered, which will most likely be Thursday, because, like I told you, I'm working the Def Leppard and Journey concert tomorrow, so I'm not gonna be able to do a show. But I will be back Thursday to chit chat with y'all on the latest going on in celebrity news and gossip. And by that time, you know, usually if we do the show every other day, you know, there's a lot of tea that we could spill on the show and talk about, you know, what we need to talk about, and not just be a show full of, you know, filler. Although I don't think we do filler on here. All the show, topics, in my opinion, I guess yours, you can tell me if it's not, juicy grist for the mill type stuff. But anyway, love you all for watching. Thank you for everybody that was tuning in, that was commenting, you know, all that stuff, interacting with the show as we were doing it. But like I said, I'll be back on Thursday to chit chat with y'all yet again with the latest and all going on in celebrity news, entertainment news, politics, gossip, whatever's trending on social media. We'll chit chat about it on this here show. So, Brown Bunny's in the building, you know. So, love you all for watching. And until next time, ciao, darlings.